got an adjournment, right?
I could hear the wind. It's like this is so I'm just gonna do this now.
Interesting choice of words.
I don't see her.
Patrick, let's go. Right, folks, for those of you who have not appeared before us, ordinarily what we do is we will call a calendar, but we give preference to people who are asking for an adjournment. We do have a case which is going to be adjourned this afternoon. However, we're not going to wait for that person to come in. Obviously, we don't want to hang any of you up. So we'll start calling the regular calendar. And when someone appears on that case, we'll interrupt the order of things, call for the adjournment, and then move on so you don't lose time and we don't lose time, all right? Ordinarily, we'll call the calendar. The way we proceed is the applicant will make their case. If there are any people who object to the application, they'll be given the opportunity to speak and put forth their objections. And we then give the applicant the opportunity to sum up before we close the case. Once we close the case, we will not allow any additional evidence. We take all kinds of evidence. We're not bound by the strict rules of evidence. This is not a court of law. We take emails. We take letters. All right? The proceedings are live streamed. We have a court reporter. You can refer to them later. Once the case is closed, it is closed. All right? Some decisions will be made today, this afternoon. And if you think your case is, you could check tomorrow with either the office. They'll be able to tell you whether or not a decision was made on your case. Did I forget anything that I would normally say? Patrick, start the calendar call.
Okay. First, we're calling the case 5725 Franklin Square, Ralph Muno. Special exception to install a shed not permitted in the side yard with less than required side yard setbacks, also known as 196 Monroe Street. Step forward. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
My name's Ralph Muno. I reside at 196 Monroe Street, Franklin Square, New York, 11010.
That's a nice beginning.
Would you mind pulling your microphone
Oh,
closer?
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about the shed that's not permitted in the side yard.
Well, if you look at my plot plan, I'll start from when my house was built, 1924. There was a variance to build a garage in 1940. So the garage is on the front side of the house, which is why they needed a variance. I didn't really know that when I bought the house, but so for me to put a shed in the back of the house where I had a permit for it, you know, I used that part of the yard for gardening. Since I've been in the house, the shrubs have gotten a lot bigger, and if I put a shed in the back, I'm going to obstruct my garden and interfere with, you know, when I have guests over. So the practical place to put the shed would be behind the garage. If they had done me a favor and put the garage in the back of the house, I wouldn't be here.
Well, sir, so I see on the site plan, your shed is not a very large shed. It looks like it's set back a foot from the side yard, but it's nestled in behind your garage, and while it is a side yard, it does seem to be a very good location, because oftentimes we don't want a shed in a side yard if it would obstruct, let's say, an emergency vehicle from getting to the rear of the yard. But given that it's nestled in behind your garage, there's no passage on that side of your house anyway for emergency vehicles. And also, I can't imagine any of your neighbors would even see this. Maybe your neighbor to the south, depending on what other foliage is there.
Well,
But-
there's a fence there.
Yeah,
That house
but
was
it's-
built in about 1979, and there was no fence there. When they built the house,
Right.
before I moved in, they put a fence there. So I don't go through that side of my house.
Right, well, I can't imagine you could, but I'm just
I
suggesting.
can, but I don't.
Okay, so I'm just suggesting that that unlike many sheds in the side yard, this one is more suited for that area, given the way your house is configured and the fact that that's little area where you propose the shed, it not only is useless for anything else, just about, it would seem, also, other than the one side of your house, between your bay window, your garage, and your house, no one can even see this shed. The only side someone potentially could, as we just said, is on the south side, and that may...
I've spoken
and
to
that-
her.
Yeah, that may or may not be the case, but my point being is that it's, seems an appropriate place for the shed in this case, when in many cases it wouldn't.
And given the fact that your garage encroaches in the side yard more than the shed does, you're not encroaching any more than, in the side yard any more than exists
I'm
already.
assuming the reason they put the garage in the front of the house is because you see the extension on the side of the house, which are windows. You could not put a car to the back of the house if the
Correct.
garage was there.
Right.
So being it was 1940, the area would have looked much different. So my garage is bigger than my driveway. I
Right.
don't put my car in the driveway. I emptied out my garage so I could put my car in the garage because I don't want to leave it in the
You're
driveway.
you're one of the few people who do that.
Well, I'm assuming when the house was built, there wasn't any sidewalks. So now there's sidewalks, and people comment on why my car might stick out.
And that concludes your case, doesn't it?
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Muno, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
If you'd like to check tomorrow, you can call the office. All right, as I said earlier, some of the cases are decided today, others will take a little bit longer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we're going to, you can go, sir. We're going to interrupt the schedule because we do have a representative from the office of the person who's going to request an adjournment.
Next, we're calling case 6225, West Hempstead, King Ho. Variances, front yard setbacks on Jennings Avenue and Nightingale Road. Construct garage and roofed over open porch, both attached to dwelling, also known as 730 Jennings Avenue.
Good afternoon.
Hello again. My name is Ashley Lowe Kianese from Mark Anthony Architects. Our office is located at 1563 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, New York. I am here today on behalf of our clients King and Esther Ho, who are the owners and occupants of the subject property located at 730 Jennings Avenue in West Hempstead. Unfortunately, after we were granted a hearing date, the homeowners made some changes to the plans which require an updated denial letter, and as a result, I believe will require updated mailings as well, since the legal notice will be changing.
Okay.
As of yesterday, the plans examiner, Dennis Dunn, re-reviewed the updated plans that were submitted and provided the updated denial. I have since spoke with Lindsay of the Board of Zoning Appeals, who has requested additional items and fees, which are to be provided to the Board of Zoning Appeals in the next few days. We respectfully request an adjournment at this time.
How much time?
How much time do you need?
The plans are already done, so we just need time to do the legal notices, so as soon as
That's cruel.
the board will allow.
Patrick? Please go ahead.
March 19th, 2 o'clock.
Is that okay?
Perfect. And when will the new mailings need to go out?
Call Lindsay later.
Call Lindsay?
She'll let you.
Got it. Thank you.
Patrick?
Okay. Next, we'll be calling cases 5825 through 6025. Oceanside, Alex D. Hernandez Cueva. Immediate family residence, second kitchen. Variances, side yards aggregate. Maintain one-story addition attached dwelling. Variances, lot area occupied. Side yards aggregate. Rear yard, construct two-story addition, second-story addition, wood deck, and portico, all attached dwelling in excess of 50%, new CO required. Also known as 3362 4th Street. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I did.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon again.
Hello again.
Here's your BAR record.
My name is Ashley Lokianis from Mark Anthony Architects. Our office is located at 1563 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, New York. I am here today for our client, Mr. Alex Hernandez, who is the owner and occupant of the subject property located at 3362 4th Street in Oceanside, New York.
Of course, we wouldn't rent.
We are here today as a result of three separate applications. Application 23-4466, which was filed for proposed second-story addition, proposed two-story addition, and proposed portico. Application 23-5877 for a proposed mother-daughter use application, and 23-9899, which is to maintain a first-story addition. The proposed lot coverage is 40.7%.
40.7%?
Yes.
What's the size of the lot?
It's 4,000 square feet. 100 by 40.
In Res C?
Yes. Res
I
B.
mean Res B?
Res B. Can I continue? Can I continue? Okay. The lot coverage is 40.7%, which exceeds the maximum allowable lot coverage of 27.5% for a Residence B zone, for which we are requesting a variance for 13.2%. Additionally, the side yard setback to the proposed dwelling is 4.46 feet, and the side yard setback to the deck is 4.29 feet, where a minimum of 5 feet is required, for which we are requesting a variance for 0.54 feet and 0.71 feet respectively. The aggregate side yards of 14.29 feet are less than the average combined side yard setback of 17.73 feet, for which we require relief of 3.44 feet. The front yard is on the 40. It's the 17.73 is the average combined side yard setback for both sides. I don't need 17. Good? Okay. I would like to note that the application to maintain the first-story addition was also denied for the existing side yard setback of 4.91 feet to the dwelling, which is less than the required side yard setback of 5 feet, for which relief of 0.9 feet would be required. Also, the existing aggregate side yard of 14.91 feet is less than the average aggregate side yard of 17.29 feet, for which 2.38 feet of relief would be required. Because the house itself is built on an angle, it takes the existing non-compliance that's already there, and it increases it slightly, which accounts for the difference in numbers between the two applications. All right, I just want to make sure we're on the same page while I'm going over that. I don't believe so, no. I'm sorry, yes, it's an AE8 zone. Yes. Can I continue?
How many people live in the house?
3. Alex is going to be, well, I'm going to get to that, so
Go ahead.
just give me one
All
second.
right.
The proposed rear yard setback of 17.29 feet to the second floor is less than the minimum required setback of 25 feet, for which we are requesting a variance of 7.71 feet. Also, the proposed rear yard setback of 3.29 feet to the rear deck attached to the dwelling is less than the minimum required setback of 15 feet, for which we are requesting relief of 11.71 feet. Lastly, we are requesting a variance for immediate family use. I have explained to my clients about the rules of the immediate family use, as there to only to be 1 mailbox, 1 doorbell, and 1 electric meter. Alex Hernandez will be living in the primary residence, and Helmer Cueva Hernandez and Jose Cueva Hernandez will be living in the secondary residence. All open permits are to be closed out during the inspection process. That completes our request. I can answer any questions you guys have. Yeah. I think they're on their, last I spoke to them, they were on their way and stuck in traffic. They were working, they all worked together, so they were on their route and they were stopping in. I did not ask how far they have to come from. There's a bit of a language barrier there.
I think,
They-
oh, there is?
Yes, typically they speak with one of the women in my office who speaks Spanish back and forth, so.
Just in the future, and we've never told you this, so I'm not expecting you to know. We're trying to figure out how to navigate the language barrier, but it's good to let us know if you know that in advance.
Okay,
So we can make a
absolutely.
decision as to whether or not we think, from time to time, we'll have, if the language barrier is severe and there's no other one to translate, from time to time, we'll get someone from the translation pool so that we make sure that the litigants all here
Understand what's going on.
can communicate to us what they wish to communicate to us, and they can understand and commit to us the things that we want them to know about.
Fair enough. I will keep that in mind for the future. Thank you.
Has someone in your office made them aware of the conditions we ordinarily impose?
Yes, we had a meeting with them. We have someone in our office that speaks Spanish that has sat in on all the meetings so that they've been aware of everything going back and forth.
We'll need somebody.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just checked my phone because I felt it going off a bunch of times. It looks like the client was confused. He actually went to my office and is headed here now.
Okay, so we're gonna hold the case until the clients get here.
Okay.
And we're going to see if we can get someone Spanish-speaking so that we can ask them a few questions.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Patrick?
We call in case 6125 Woodmere, Ian J. and Kelly M. Magor. Variances, rear yard, side yard, maintain second floor addition attached dwelling, alteration in construction in excess of 50%, new CO required, also known as 70 Brower Avenue.
I'm all set.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
John Tufel, a professional engineer, 707 Route 110, Farmingdale, New York.
Kelly Magor, 70 Brower Avenue, Woodmere, New York, 11598.
Thank you for hearing us today. I'm here today with the property owner, Kelly Magor. Her husband, Eon, is also here, and some of their family members. And we're requesting a variance to maintain a partially completed second-floor addition on their two-story home at 70 Brower Avenue in Woodmere.
Well, how does a partial second-floor addition result in an over 50% with a new CO? It seems,
Well, right now, the house is a partial second story on the house now. So we're going over the whole, so the whole house will have a second story. That's what we're doing. I mean, I didn't do the calculation, but, and then
seems
some
odd.
renovations on the first floor. So I'm not really sure how they came up with that to be.
yeah, it just seems odd, like, it's just maintain a second-floor addition attached to the dwelling. It's a partial second-floor addition, and then we have construction in excess of 50% and a new CO. That's just seems, I don't know.
Well, again, they are going over the whole footprint of the house with the second story, basically. There is part of the house has a second story now, and we are raising the ridge, so it's kind of a major project.
When you said partial, I didn't really, let me ask you, it's a maintain. Is there a stop work order on this or something?
Yes, there is, yeah, yes. Unfortunately, the Magors thought the contractor had obtained the permits, but we're here, obviously, and they didn't, so there was a stop work order, yes.
Okay, hold on a second. Do you want to enlighten me?
Yeah, we take into consideration alterations as well as additions for considering whether something is over 50%. So
Yeah, I guess there's alterations that aren't before us, so.
that's fine.
And the first floor also, there are some alterations, so that, I think, adds it to it.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tupel.
The search sheet also shows that you have an open building permit to maintain a dwelling on a lesser lot. How did that come about?
That I'm not familiar with. They just bought the house 2 years ago. What was that permit for again? I'm sorry.
There's an open building permit to maintain a dwelling on a lesser lot. Was the lot larger at one point?
It's a flag lot. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'm not really familiar with that history, frankly.
Well,
But whatever it is, we'll resolve it, of course.
1987. This was probably the
yeah, it's a flag lot carved off from, yeah.
probably the second. All right. Go on.
But of course, we'll do whatever we have to do with the building department to get that closed, absolutely. But at any rate, if I can continue,
You can.
the subject property is a flag lot which has an existing dwelling, which has a partial second story now and is located 2.6 feet from the north property line and 2 feet from the east property line, way back in the corner there. We're not going past the existing footprint. We're proposing to construct a second-story addition in that area, again, directly above the existing house, not going past it. And we're requesting, again, to maintain that existing side yard of 2 feet, where 7.5 feet is required, and the existing rear yard of 2.6 feet, where 25 feet is required. It's
2 point-
unfortunate that we're constrained by this existing side yard and rear yard with the location of the existing house. We're just going up straight up.
Tufel.
Yes,
So that application on a lesser lot was in 87. So did you say a 2'6" rear yard?
yes.
So was there variance relief previously to the structure for the first level to be at that? 2-foot side yard and two? Do you know if it's?
I don't have that history.
Do we know if the first floor is legal?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Do we know if the first floor had a CO? I mean, it says new CO, but it would have had variance relief before.
Yeah. That, the owner tells me there was a variance in 2008 on this property. This was before they owned it. They've owned it for
What
2
was-
years.
Do you know what the variance was for in
I-
2008?
I think we have a copy of it actually here on his phone. You have that?
Come on up, sir.
This is Eon. He's also an owner of the property.
Leon, did you sign in?
Can't really see it on his phone.
Okay.
He's gonna have to send it to the printer.
He could send it to Patrick and then
Ian McGuire, 70 Brower Avenue, Woodbury, New York, 11598.
Could you speak into the microphone, please?
Ian McGuire, 70 Brower Avenue, Woodmere, New York, 11598.
Can you, maybe if you sit down, it would be better. So you want to tell us about the variance in 2008?
Oh, sure. I have an application number if you need it.
Yeah, you can put it on the record, but then just tell us when you can.
Okay, there was a building permit and variance approved for a 3,600 square foot house back in 2008, and the application number is 200716542.
And you said that had a variance also
Yeah.
for 36, and do you know, I don't know what you're looking at, but does it say what variances were granted?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
How did they miss the lesser lot problem in 08?
It's a big problem. No, it's a different number.
That was in 87.
Yeah, well, this shows a 2-foot rear yard.
But the rear yard's 2.6, I think.
I'm just reading, but yeah, this is a site plan here I'm looking at.
652 doesn't appear on anything.
It doesn't say anything about the side yard.
2065.
Aside from the plot plan, is there a verbal description of the board's grant?
Does that say 2006?
Yeah.
Came before us, 08.
This is a
That's
plan.
not zoning.
It's not a decision, no, it's not
It is a permit.
a copy of a plan.
It's a closed building.
You know, that's what I was saying. We don't
Construction site plan.
have anything in 08.
It doesn't have,
Yeah, would you?
no, it has a BZA application number as Mr. McGraw just said. But
That number he read us is a BZA application number?
the application number at 200716542. 200716542.
What
We-
year was that?
Go ahead.
What year?
2008.
7.
2007. Well, it says application number 200716542.
Which could be a hearing in 08 for sure. Yeah, we don't,
Doesn't show
the
on the
search sheet,
2008.
our search sheet doesn't have anything in terms of building permits, right, closed or open, except for the 1987 open permit on the lesser lot. At all, basically, except for some stuff in, 85, 86, nothing in any of the years, 2000 years. You sure that pertains to the subject property?
The address on here is 70 Bower Avenue, of this plan I'm looking at.
I mean, if you put in it's an issue, if you came to the BZA in 2008 via that 2007 application, and if it was either granted or denied, and if it was denied, obviously,
the
we
record.
don't have it here. I'm gonna have to research it because I don't know how to figure out if the first, it's great that the second story addition's all in the footprint of the first. If we knew the first was already illegal,
Legal.
that'd be great. which it would have had to have relief. Let's see. Wait. Maintain two non-conforming. What does that stand for? Hold on. Twofold. So it looks like someone came to someone got a building permit to maintain two non-conforming one-family dwellings and a detached garage on one plot. That permit's closed. But in 1987, it looks like there was a building permit that's still open to maintain a dwelling on a lesser lot. So I don't know, we have nothing else after that. So I don't even know, it very well could have been, it's not closed, that permit, so we don't know I don't know what transpired, and I have nothing here indicating relief for the first floor being in that location. It may very well have gotten relief, but we're gonna have, Mr. Owens is checking, yeah. Mr. Owens is checking, see if there's anything that's missing from the search sheet. This was printed in March of '24, but I think we're going to have to, we'll wait to hear what Mr. Owens says, but I think we're going to have to maybe adjourn this so we can all figure out. Christine, what?
If that first permit is not valid or closed, or we never got that permit in 2008, does that still block the variance for this time around?
Yeah. Don't you have the approval for the permit? The approval.
From
15
2008?
years, yes. From 2008. No. You don't have the approval? No.
Maybe text your dad right now. Maybe he has it. But does it matter? Like, if we didn't have that variance, does it matter for this one? I know what they're saying. You can always just say we were under the impression the previous homeowner told us that there was a variance. But either way, we have a new variance. Why does it matter?
Yeah. And the C. Should we hear the objection now, or we'll wait?
We should
Yeah.
come back.
We have someone here in opposition, who's here in opposition, and if you'd like to speak, we're going to adjourn this case because we have insufficient evidence to enable us to make a decision, but we'd like to hear your objection anyway. Could you please step up? This way you don't have to come back. Podium. Raise your right hand, please.
I do. My name is Susan Lippman Kaplan. My address is 68 Brower Avenue in Woodmere, 11598.
My turn.
And,
Kenny Kaplan, 68 Brower Avenue, Woodmere, New York, 11598.
Okay.
So are you on the property that is, that for which that property,
Yes.
this one make the flag lot?
yes, I'd like to start by shedding some light on the situation. We bought a property, which is a flag lot. We bought the property, and
Wait,
No,
hold on.
no.
Go ahead.
When did you buy the property?
in 2006, the house was built in 1905.
She's not,
Wait, are
you're not on the flag lot.
I'm right, if you have
You're in
the
front.
plans in
you're
front of you, I'm in front of
You're
it.
in front of the flag.
Exactly.
So
Flag
that,
lot is that lot.
yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Right. In 1929, they built Mr. McGore's property.
As one property.
Right.
Yeah.
So they
And it
divided
was
the
subdivided
two
at a later
properties, right.
date, and they carved out a flag
Right,
lot.
which I don't believe they really do that anymore, but the lot itself, even before it was divided, is not a large lot. So Mr. McGore's house is very close to our house, and all our bedroom windows are facing that house. So any noise, and there's no privacy, and if this house is made larger, they attempted to do that without a permit recently, and it was denied, and that's why I guess we're here now. We had to wait until it was done. And the thing in 2007, or 2008 it actually was, his brother had owned the house, Alex McGore, and they tried to expand the house. Then
Whose brother?
Ian McGore's brother.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it was bought from the brother. So then it was, you don't have the record of it, I think, because it was denied. We came then to court to protest it and object, and I'm objecting now because of the proximity of the property. It's an old flag lot, and it can't go by the same regulations, I feel, that other properties go by now, because this is very old. And, you know, the situation, it was in 1929, which they divided the property. I knew the original owner.
It wasn't divided back then, it was one property.
How many buildings were, well, you wouldn't know how many buildings were
No, it
on it
wasn't.
in
It was divided
29.
in 29, and Mrs. Combs built that property on that lot.
She built the house.
Yes,
So the house has been there since 1929 in the original configuration. Is that right?
yes. And my home,
Yeah.
which is in front of it, was built in 1905, correct. And Mrs. Combs owned my house, 1905, and the lot, and then she moved to the back, which is very common at those, you know, at that day,
Okay.
to do this, and they rented out the main house, which is our house. But we have pictures, but to see how close, to get an understanding of how close this property is. If anything was made and increased any larger than it is now, it's very unfair to us, because it's so up close now. I mean, if you'd like to see photos, but every bedroom window.
You could hand them in, but first show them to Mr. Tufel.
Right.
We'll take them in evidence.
Faces that property. And
All right.
I don't know, from my understanding, they want to even enlarge the second floor that they had built. And it's monstrous. I can't begin to tell you. I don't know if it's 30 feet from the street, but it can't go by the same standards as a regular property because of the situation. It's
Well-
like having a little carriage house, you know, in the back. And this isn't even like a big area like Hewlett Harbor. I don't know if you're familiar, where you have these large lots. It's very small, and they're on top of us as is. you know? And if they build, I think I looked at the plans briefly, they were thinking about building a driveway that curved around. All the fumes are coming into my house and the windows. I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and I hope that you will listen to what I'm saying with the situation. Yeah.
Here's my situation.
Hold on, one thing, I just want to say a
ahead.
few things. So we have the map here, and honestly, the property that, this applicant's property appears to be larger than your property. That doesn't mean a whole lot, but just in reference to talking about how small that property is. We have found records that in '07 and '08, someone came to this board asking to demolish that house and reconstruct a house, and that was actually denied.
Right, that's correct.
But there's still unclear information, like whether or not the subdivision actually occurred. It might have occurred, someone tried to do it in 1987, but that permit's still open. So that's something Mr. Tufel will have to look into to find out if the house, and I guess as part of, if the relief granted, if they were granted the relief to maintain the dwelling on a lesser lot, which is part of a subdivision. Right? You're carving the house on that lot off, so it's maintaining each dwelling on a lesser lot, frankly. If that relief was granted, then I think at that time, the issue as to these narrow setbacks would have been taken up. But that's the part we don't have. We just know that there was a denial to tear down the house and build a new one
So the
in
bottom,
07 or 08.
the bottom line is, we don't have enough information to make an informed decision. We're going to adjourn this case, but if you have anything else you'd like to add, please do it now, otherwise you're going to have to come back next time.
I do want to ask you one question before Mr. Kaplan talks to you. You have the dimensions there of the lot, and I didn't mean their lot is small. I meant the overall lot in comparison to,
others.
you know, the flag lot that it is. It's a very old property, and even back then, it probably shouldn't have been done, but it's from, it's from 1929. And the house, the windows are all facing, I must repeat this, my bedroom windows. I can't leave a window open.
By the way, and maybe this will help you, the fact that we're adjourning the case will give members of this board the opportunity to go out and look. And we do that more often than people
You
think.
do? I hope so.
We do, we do.
I really
But
do.
if you would like to submit your photographs that you alluded to earlier, please show them to Mr. Tufel, and we'll take them in evidence. Yeah,
Okay, I didn't make prints of them, they're on the phone.
Okay,
So I would
okay.
probably have to do that and then submit it. Mr. Tufol is who?
Myself.
Oh,
The gentleman who raised his hand.
okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, but you have a picture of that property.
Oh, we have permission. I don't need to go on her property, I need to go on that property.
Okay, I know you guys want to get going, so we try to move on here.
We're not going anywhere.
No, I know, but you don't want to be able to tell you at 8 o'clock tonight. So my situation is this. This house was divided and, you built a second house behind it, which is illegal now. Can't do that now, but back then it was, so obviously it's the way it is. Then it was sold. That's what I'm saying. You could build a house, but you can't sell it. So they sold the front property, which is my property
no,
now,
if
and
you-
there's two properties. My thing is, the house back there, it's gonna be there, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
But keep it the way it is size-wise. Like I said, I don't want a bigger, I don't know how much bigger they want to make it, because I know back in 2007, it was going to be a 3,600 square foot house, which was crazy, in my opinion. Since it's not legal anymore, you're not allowed to do this anymore, just keep it the way it is, like it should be. Keep it the way it is, because this is not allowed anymore. And just redo it, make it look nice, and that's it.
Okay. Do the board members have permission to go on your property?
Sure,
We
absolutely.
stay on the outside.
As
Whenever
well
you
as you.
want.
We're not going in, we're just going to walk the property ourselves,
No, that's
okay?
fine. Because remember, this is a one-story house until the second floor was added on, now it stopped, so it's been idle for like 14 months, 15 months, it hasn't been. but I just want to keep it the way it is. Keep the size, make it look nice, because, like I say, this is not allowed anymore. This is illegal. Obviously, I can't knock the house down, but just make the house look nice and keep the size it is, because there's a reason it's illegal.
Got it.
Reason you can't do this anymore.
All
There's a
right,
reason,
so,
obviously.
so we're going to adjourn this case without a date.
Okay.
When we schedule or reschedule the hearing, you're not going to get another notice. You understand that, all right? All right, you'll get another notice.
We will not.
And if you want to submit your photographs, please print them.
Print them.
But
And how do we forward them to you?
you can bring them in when you get the next notice.
Oh, okay,
Because
sure.
obviously you're coming back.
Or if you don't want to come in,
You could submit them to the office. But where, people are going to go out and look at this, all right?
I would
Board
appreciate
members,
that.
we will.
Very much if you did do that.
Okay.
What time span is your guesstimate on when the next,
Depends on the applicant.
Ask Mr.
It's without a date, sine die.
Mr. Tu,
We don't have a date.
yeah, it would be.
Depends
Mr.
on
Tufel.
how quickly they can finish what they have to finish. Okay, whatever information they deem to be relevant, they're going to have to bring it before the board.
My guess is that since they probably want to get their home fixed, I would guess that they're probably going to get right on it, is my guess, because they
Yeah.
want to get this
They wanna get in the
process and
house.
figure out,
Absolutely.
finish the house.
Okay?
Are we able to respond just quickly about some of the neighbors' concerns? Because I believe a few of their objections are misguided, and I'd like to clear the record.
I guess we can give her a few minutes.
Yeah,
You're going to
we'll
have
give
a
you-
whole
we'll give you a
opportunity.
few minutes. You'll
when you
have
come
the-
back,
you're gonna have the
but if you wanna
opportunity to
say a
come
few
back.
things just because it's fresh in your mind, okay.
Well, I just wanted to say one thing.
Can you pull the microphone
Oh,
closer?
sorry about that. So I believe in 2008, or no, 2007, an application was submitted for a 4,200 square foot. That was even further from, I guess, both of those fences, that corner fence, so closer to the middle of the lot, closer to their house, and it was denied.
Right,
And then another one was submitted for 3,900 square feet, and that was also denied.
that's why we have.
And then a third one was submitted for 3,600 square feet, and that was approved. And I believe my father has.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
You're telling us that,
Pardon?
I know, I get it. Cases that came before us were unanimously denied. There are 3 of them here. Yeah, there are 3 of them here, or 2 or 3 of them here. They were all denied. If one of them was approved, maybe when you made it smaller, it became an as-of right, but it's hard to imagine that because, well, first of all, no new house was built, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what we need to do, what Mr. Tufel already knows, because he appears here, is you're gonna have to go and find out how the existing structure is legal. Number one, if it does have a CO from being carved off, because there appears to be language, there's an open permit that appears to be related to a potential subdivision, but, we don't know if the subdivision ever got approved and was legally finished. That's subdividing that from being 2 properties on 1
Yeah.
lot. The second part of it is, which could have happened as part of that process, we have a house sitting 2 feet, and a little over 2 feet on the rear and side. That requires a variance unless it's somehow a legal non-conforming in that. And again, we need the legal non-conforming letter, that should be in here, if it's legal non-conforming. The application to
look,
carve it off,
Mr.
so-
Tufel knows what he has to
Yeah,
do.
he does.
I believe he does.
Yeah, he
All right, let's not belabor the issue. All right, so we're going,
I'm sorry, can I just say a few more things?
go right ahead.
Thank you. First, I'd like to say that the house is not monstrous. We're not building it any bigger than it already is now. It might be a few feet taller, but we are not making it look like a monster at all. We're going to stay respectful of the neighborhood that we're in. We have family nearby, and we understand that, we need to maintain a good and specific standards when it comes to this neighborhood. We don't want to see your bedroom windows either. We're planning on planting trees there. You won't see us. You know, we're a very respectable family. We're not a single man like Ian's brother was. We have a child. We want to be respectful, and we want to have a good rapport with our neighbors. So I just want that to be on the record, you know, like we can make this look nice without having all of these, you know, problems and objections, and we can be good neighbors.
Good.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Thanks for coming in. To adjourn, Cindy. Welcome. Do we need?
One second, please. Okay, next we'll be calling case 6325, West Hempstead, Jason Droznick and Sylvia Monet Droznick. Maintain 6-foot-high fence forward a dwelling which may substantially obstruct line of sight, also known as 30 Mayfair Avenue. Hi, please
Hi.
stand.
Oh, sorry.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please, and just your name and address.
Sure. Sylvia Monet Droznick, and I live at 30 Mayfair Avenue, West Hempstead, 11552.
Yes.
I am just requesting to maintain a 6-foot forward-facing fence on my property, who's adjacent to a large parking lot, as you see. I also submitted pictures as well that were on the website. I have real time on my phone if you want to see it. I have in camera. Oh, I did submit pictures as well. They were with the, yes, that's it. Mm-hmm. Correct. There is currently a wood fence that was behind there that was already there. A 6-foot fence that was behind it.
Is that wooden fence your fence, or?
No, it's the Savers, it's actually United Properties Corporation. They're the owners of that parking lot.
Okay, I'm looking at the Google Earth
The
of it.
5-foot fence.
So just want to understand,
Okay.
first of all, there's some strange thing on the image. Along the sidewalk of the parking lot, right, so perpendicular to your fence, is there a fence along that sidewalk?
Yes.
Okay, and where is the curb cut? Oh, I see it for the arrows. So traffic does not enter or exit the parking lot near your fence?
No.
Okay.
There was a big bush there that I took down, so actually I improved the view, because my mom, who's 75, couldn't back up and they would T-bone us. I've gotten a lot of permits for the property. I've worked and I've done everything legally, and I've tried to.
Is this a municipal lot? Does the town own that parking?
No, it doesn't, unfortunately. It's a private lot. It's United Property Owners, but I have their information as well.
They have to provide the fence, is that correct?
Correct, which they do have a fence. They have an old wooden fence
They
already
have the old
existing
wooden
there.
fence.
Hold on.
That's 6 foot tall.
But you don't like that?
No, it was actually, I've tried to work with the owners when I moved in 3 years ago, and I offered even half of the money to get a new fence, and they've just left the wood fence there. So I've had to put in a fence around my whole property.
Is that fence in a state of
Well
disrepair?
maintained either.
I've complained to the town of Hempstead before and the board as well, so it is, to my version, it's subpar, the fence, but because I've had muggers break into my car, I've had people break into my house, I've had
Yeah, but
people
the-
break into my car several times, I've had people pee and poop on the fence, which is the reason why I have now the Ring camera all over my property.
Right.
Wait, can I just ask you, so originally I asked you if there was a fence along the sidewalk perpendicular to your fence, so that traffic couldn't go in and out near your fence, because I could see from the aerial view, the in and out arrows for the curb cut over by the building. And you said yes, but now Ms. Adams pulled up a
I'm
different.
not sure if I understood the question, I'm sorry.
Okay, so my question related to traffic being able to enter and exit the parking lot near your fence. So I asked about the perpendicular fence and confirmed that none of them can enter near and exit near the fence, but Ms. Adams pulled up a different Google map view, although I will say it does still include the bush you said used to be there.
Correct, so that's an old view, I'm
Okay, but-
assuming.
So that one may be old, but then I'm asking my question again. Is there a fence running perpendicular to your fence along the sidewalk precluding traffic from getting in and out of the parking
No.
lot near your fence?
No.
Okay.
Oh, did I answer?
You did.
So-
You did
No,
good.
I-
So basically, I just put
You
a
answered.
fence in front of their existing fence.
So is that a curb cut? How much,
What a curve.
so the arrows from the aerial view showing where the traffic's supposed to enter and exit the parking lot are over by the building, right?
Over their building.
Okay, so is the rest of that, it looks by the other view, Ms. Adams found that entire sidewalk might be a curb cut. Is that the case?
I'm not sure exactly what a curb cut is, I'm sorry.
Do cars pull in the parking lot near your fence or out of it?
They pull in about a couple feet from my fence, which there's already a sidewalk and a fence on that side. And I guess they have also a little sidewalk on their side,
This is
along their
her
fence.
Yeah, just, right, no curb cut.
No, it's all a curb cut.
Yeah, this is her house, and she wants to just do that.
Question, I know.
Yeah, so I
sorry.
removed the bushes and I put a fence there along with the rest of the fence, because the property's 50 by 278 feet. It goes all along the side of their parking lot, unfortunately.
Yes.
Here's the tendency to confuse the
That's kind of provide a clear sight issue.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, that was why I wanted,
Okay.
but I will say that there's a parking slot there, like in the one picture, see, someone parked there, so they can't pull in right next to it, but still.
She extends this, it's already extended, that's her white fence.
I know, but I was trying to ascertain if the fence was causing visibility.
Lloyd Lacy.
Although
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah, oh, he is, oh, he's such a great guy.
you know, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Okay, so
I
you know
know
the
it's your
house.
fence, Joe, I was
Yeah,
trying to.
you know the house.
You know, it's not gonna
He's
matter,
in Maryland, no?
because even if you're pulling out there, the traffic's coming from that side, so it'll be
So
okay.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever you can help me with, 'cause I'm not sure I'm answering correctly.
Okay. Is there
It's
anything else
okay.
you'd like to add, ma'am?
No, that was it.
Any questions from the board? If not, I have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I will just move that the hearing be closed, that the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Opposed?
Thank you so much for your time.
You know what?
Okay, next we will be recalling cases 5825 through 6025, Oceanside, Alex D. Hernandez Cueva, immediate family residence, second kitchen, variances side yards aggregate, maintain one-story addition, attached dwelling, Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, rear yard, construct two-story addition, second-story addition, wood deck, and portico, all attached to dwelling in excess of 50%. New CO required, also known as 3362 4th Street.
Hello again, for the fourth time.
Yeah, we should.
Did you want me
should swear
to
him
redo?
in. Yeah.
Did you want me to say everything that I said before, or?
Well, actually, maybe so they can hear. In other words, I want her to say. Well, let's start with getting sworn in and getting
They
this
did.
on the records.
They were sworn.
Oh,
weren't
I'm
you?
sorry.
They were sworn? No,
I thought you did.
no. The representative was sworn.
No, but I want
Swear
the
the,
litigants.
swear the applicants. And
All three.
she better translate for them.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Names and addresses for the record. Patrick, tell the translator to ask them their names and addresses
them.
for the record.
Okay, my name is Alex Hernandez. My address is 362 4th Street, Oceanside. And he's Hermes Hernandez.
Wait, let's have them give them. Names and addresses. I imagine they don't live with you yet. Wherever they live, give their current addresses, please.
All right, yeah, my name is Elmer, and
Last name.
last name is Cueva Hernandez, and it's 219 Foxhurst, where I live now. Oceanside, New York.
My name is Jose Cueva Hernandez. I live in 219 Foxhurst Road, Oceanside.
Are you three are brothers? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
All
Do
right.
you own the house at Foxhurst?
No, we rented it.
Thank you.
Okay, so you did want me to read it again?
Um,
Or do you want me
yeah,
to just read the mother-daughter
and
portion?
have her translate it so they're aware of what you say too.
Okay.
Maybe give the translator the microphone, please. So they, all three of the gentlemen can hear it when she repeats what you say.
Okay.
You have to pull it relatively close.
I am here today on behalf of our client, Mr. Alex Hernandez, who is the owner and occupant of the subject property.
Stop.
Right.
Ella está aquí representando a sus clientes. Hernández.
I want those
Okay, it's
gentlemen
gonna be
to
harder
listen
than I
too,
thought.
because unlike other cases where there's only one applicant, when we have a immediate family, we have them all here because they're all a part of the equation. It's different than other applications, so I want everyone to be,
Do you want me to read the whole portion about the proposed work too, or just the mother-daughter portion? Immediate use, I'm sorry.
yeah. Or what was the first part of the question?
Do you want me to read everything I said before about the proposed use for the proposed application as well, or just for the immediately
Well,
family?
let's do the immediate family stuff and then.
Okay. Just because it's a lot for them to have to translate if not. We are requesting a variance for immediate family use.
Ella está pidiendo una petición para immediate family use, para la familia que
Yes, it's correct, it's correct. We try to make the family, the little view in the house, so we are room for the family, you know. That's only what we want. But I know it's a little difficult to the town or the staff is I store with this project ready for like a year ready. So it's taking me long, and I pay $1,000. I pay all the bills. You know, every month I pay the bill. It is hard sometimes because you're working so hard and you try to do the right thing, you know, and try to make a room for everybody or your family. But sometimes it's hard, but that's the life, you know. But the only thing I try to do is make the house a little comfortable for the family. Because right now it's one floor.
Sir, I'm sorry, when you say family, so far, our information indicates that only the three of you are living there. Do any of you have families? No, are going to live there.
Yeah,
Is there any, the way you're saying it, it almost sounds like there are more family members. Like, do one of you have children or wives?
Yeah,
Or
my cousin is already married. He has children. So he's supposed we try to, he's gonna live it downstairs, and I gotta live it in the second.
Okay, so beside the three of you, someone has a wife who will be living there too?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's kind of important. I know. Let me just find the sheet. That makes it a lot better.
It's a little confusing.
Okay, so
because
usted me
I
habla en
wanna-
español y yo traduzco.
Yeah, I'll tell you when they ask something, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Su dirección.
You're good, you're doing fine. Same. I think just one of the brothers is married. It's gonna be one of them. It's, you're married, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Give me a second.
The proposal's for 6 bedrooms, and the paperwork says 3 brothers. And it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, right, to enlarge the house significantly. But when you've indicated that there's other family members, it makes it more logical.
Ok, la petición dice que son 6 cuartos y ustedes son 3 hermanos. Entonces, ahí es donde hablé en español. So he's saying that that 2 are living on the second floor, and the third gentleman is married, and they're gonna live on the bottom floor.
Yeah, I work in construction, so I know a little bit, but not everything. Sometimes I lost, the conversion for that.
Yeah. So we added, can I bring this? Do you want me to bring this to you?
Who's living on the first floor?
The first,
The first floor of the house?
Is
the
going,
first floor-
Helmer.
Yeah.
Yes. The first floor is Helmer Cueva Hernandez and his wife, who I just added, which is Ingris Lorena Nufio.
Are there any children?
Yes.
2 children.
2 children? Their
Yes.
names should go on there too.
Really? I thought only people above 18.
Right?
Okay. My apologies. I thought it was only people above 18. Emily Cueva? How old is Emily?
Yes, they do. Hernandez. It doesn't matter. That doesn't count. This is what counts.
The boy is 8.
Yes. Yes, he's got the same thing. They just wrote it differently. They're all 3 the same. Jesus Christ. No, these are all the same names.
Okay.
They're all the same names. No. And who is living on the second floor of the house?
Alex Hernandez and Jose Cueva Hernandez.
There's any spouses?
No.
Any children?
No.
Okay.
Not yet, per Alex.
Wait, is it?
Yes. The one part that I wanted to make sure that I did get on the record was that I have explained to the client about the rules of the immediate family use, as there is to only be 1 mailbox, 1 doorbell, and 1 electric meter. We
Okay.
already went over the,
Okay, so can you ask all 3 of them if they understand what she's just said? Like specifically, do they understand that they can, you tell her,
Ustedes entendieron todo lo que ella dijo, que es para la familia de emergencia,
I'm gonna make-
un correo, un bolsón de correo,
1 mailbox, 1 doorbell, 1
un
electric
timbre
meter.
y un eléctrico.
okay, the other gentleman, can you,
¿Entendieron también?
did you both understand that? Because you're a part of this, when it's an immediate family.
Es una familia, un timbre, un bolsón de correo y la electricidad.
Okay. In addition, if we could explain to them that this grant, now this applies more to the applicant, but you realize if your brother's cousins were to move out of the other unit, you can't just rent it to someone else, right? You understand that? This is to the applicant.
Es solamente para la familia. Usted entiende que si ellos se
Right.
llegan a mudar, no puede
Is one
rentar
of the ones in that unit
esa unidad. ¿Entiende?
Sí.
Ok, ustedes entienden que no pueden rentar la unidad si se llegan a mudar.
Wait, one second. So, for an immediate, there she is, for an immediate family residence, the person living in the other unit has to be an immediate family, a mother, child, mother, sibling, okay? So, again, if people who fit that category move out of the other unit, the replacement person has to be of that same category. And do they have to let you know too, or just us? Wait, say that again? Wait, Joe, one second. Do they have to let the building department know too? Okay. Okay, because they would have to provide the driver's license stuff that they provide us. Okay, so can you tell the translator, they need to let apparently the building department know and the zoning board know, and they'll have to provide updated materials evidencing the new person being who they are. We'll just leave it at that. Good. So there is a brother in that unit. Just one.
New paperwork.
She also said that the family category has to be the same. So la misma familia sí tiene que ser hermano, mamá, papá, o hermanos. No puede ser otra extensión de familia.
Okay.
Tiene que dejar
So,
si ellos se llegan a mudar y cambiar de familia, no puede ser otra clase de familia, tiene que ser madre, padre o hermanos.
okay.
Cousins?
No. But he has a brother in that unit. That's why it works. So, just to be clear, the other unit, you have a cousin living in there, but you have a brother, okay? So your cousin can live there too. You just need basically an anchor in
one of
each
them.
one. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So in addition to this, if you wish to sell this house in the future, it's not transferable as a mother-daughter. You would either need to take out, with proper permits, the second kitchen, or I suppose, Colleen, is there a mechanism whereby they can apply to sell it as that way if the other people apply? Right, okay. So just so you know, it's not transferable. So now okay.
Si la llega a
Pardon me?
vender, eso no se transfiere.
Okay, yeah, thank you, I'm sorry.
No la puede vender como
Hey, we didn't,
una casa de madre e hija. Tendría que quitar la cocina.
Pero si los compradores proveen documentos que va a ser familias que van a vivir ahí también.
He's asking if the buyers want to buy it as is.
If they want to buy it as is, and they would have to apply for a mother-daughter permit themselves.
Ellos tendrían que aplicar por
He's asking if the buyers wanted to purchase the home as is, then they would need to apply for a mother-daughter permit and see if
that's
they
correct.
were of it.
That's correct.
Okay.
Now, just for the record quickly, I need to just put this on the record. As you know, Ms. Lowe, Board of Architectural Review reviews every home for which there's immediate mother-daughter, immediate family application, and just opines, and sometimes makes recommendations that we give folks an opportunity to explain to us why those changes might be too expensive, unsafe, et cetera. In the case of this application, the Board of Architectural Review determined that that the dwelling is suitable and restorable to be used as a mother-daughter residence, and it's suitable to be restored to a single-family residence upon the cessation of that use.
Thank you.
How many cars do they have?
3.
And how many of those can fit in the driveway?
No. As of right now, 2 of them can fit in the driveway.
Okay, so just quick, is there street parking?
There is right in front of the home.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
I've been there.
okay, so I just want to go quickly through the other matters. You want to maintain the one-story addition attached to the dwelling?
Yes.
And do we know when that was installed or put on there?
I do not, I'm sorry. It was added to the home before they purchased it.
Okay, and just go over the numbers, would you, the side yard aggregate for it?
So the application for the maintain and the application for the proposed are a little different based off of where they are in the home. So I'll read that section that I read again earlier.
Yeah, 'cause it was,
The aggregate side yards of 14.29 feet are less than the average combined side yard setback of 17.73 feet, for which we require 3.44 feet. I would like to note that the application to maintain the first-story addition was also denied for the existing side yard setback of 4.91 feet to the dwelling, which is less than the required side yard setback of 5 feet, for which a relief of 0.9 feet is required. Also, the existing aggregate side yard of 14.91 feet is less than the average aggregate side yard of 17.29 feet, for which 2.38 feet of relief would be required. Because the house itself is built on an angle, it takes the existing noncompliance and it increases slightly, which accounts for the difference in numbers between the maintain application and the proposed application.
so just, thank you, but quickly. If everything's approved, what's the side yard that ends up, what's the side yard aggregate that ends up? Is that the 14.29?
14.29.
Okay, for aggregate. And what is the net lot area occupied if granted, if everything's granted?
Wait, what?
Is that
If
40
everything is
points?
granted, the lot area occupied would be 40.7, sorry.
That's high. What is it now?
25.18.
It's B zone. It's a small lot.
On the plot plan, I see everything marked. I see the two-story addition, I see another two-story addition, and I see the second-story addition. But I don't see the single-story addition. Oh, maybe that's the portico? Is that the only single-story addition? That's the maintain?
Can I show you the, can I show her this?
I think you're right.
That has it etched out, that's the maintained set of plans, so that shows, yes.
Is it the whole one story? Oh, yeah, we don't have this one.
That's the maintained first-story addition set of plans.
On yours, it's the darkened area around the white?
Yes,
That's
The hatch,
the only
yes.
portion of the single story? That's-
yes.
Yeah, why don't we keep one of those, because we don't have that.
You can keep it. It's stamped and sealed. You could have it. Do you need me to sign it?
That shows it.
No, it's shaded differently.
It's shaded differently than the plot plan because it's just the one set of plans. On the plot plan, it's all combined. That's how the board requests it when we file it, for all three to be combined onto one plot plan.
All right, I don't think I have any other questions, do you? I think the lot area occupied is a little high.
It's a small lot.
Ms. Lowe, what percentage of the lot area occupied, because it is kind of high? So that derives from, what percentage of the lot area occupied do you attribute to just the first story, the maintained? Do you know? No. Well, I guess it might end up being what's existing. It's just that.
I don't have that calculation.
So it says maintain. And then there's, see, obviously the two-story.
If I can have the plan back, I can do the math really quick.
Why is that irrelevant? Why is that irrelevant?
How much of that is decking too? That would be helpful. I want to see how much is decking,
says-
so if we back that out, because 40 is kind of high.
It says construct two-story addition.
Existing is 25.8. Yeah, this would be included in that number. It's 351 square feet is the deck.
Do we know how much is the deck? That's what, she's calculating it. Right, because then,
Yes, wait, Christine, am I doing this correctly? If it's 351 square feet. The decking is 351 square feet. I'm just trying to find the percentage. You're asking a wrong girl. I can barely balance my budget here. Here.
would your client accept a condition that the deck not ever be enclosed?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's why I need the number.
What's the elevation of the deck?
Because you want to go by the 30. I don't know. I'm just going to say.
Okay, what deny?
The deck is 3.3. If you look, it's shown, it says 3.3 height AF above grade. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 8.76% for the deck. Thank you. Would you accept the condition that you can't close the deck? It has to remain open.
So, ¿usted acepta que no pueden cerrar el deck? Ajá.
Thank you. Good? Okay. Good?
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Lowe, you and your clients will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's read. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Sorry it
opposed?
takes longer, but I want to make sure that they know.
Thank you. We appreciate your time.
All right, guys. You know, Ms. Lowe, I don't know, you know that a lot of cases are decided tonight, so if they want to call.
She
I'm sure
knows.
They want to get things.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day, guys. You too.
So,
Next, we're calling cases 6425 through 6525 near Cedarhurst, Robert Muller. Maintain pool equipment not permitted in side
There
yard.
it is.
Special exception to install shed not permitted in side yard, also known as 21 Park Circle.
Amiel Savaldi, 1 Meadow Drive, Woodsburg, New York.
Robert Muller, 21 Park Circle, Cedarhurst, New York.
Yes, Mr. Valli.
Okay, Mr. Zavalli, go ahead. Oh, wait, this one.
Good afternoon. I'm here with Mr. Mueller, the owner, to present this case. We have two variances. We have a pool equipment on the side yard attached to the house. It's a pool equipment that is there since after Sandy. And we are requesting a variance for a shed. We have currently, the owner has a shed that he bought the house 18 years ago. The shed was there already. He wants to replace it with a new shed, about 7 feet by 11 feet. The shed is on the side yard, but it's 45 feet from the front yard. And the odd shape of the lot is such that it's a large lot. It's 10,000 square feet, but it's over a little bit. But the rear yard is narrow, and they want to maximize it, and that's why they are locating the pool equipment and the shed where it is. The owner spoke with all the neighbors. All the neighbors have no objections, and that's our case.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Zavali, Mr. Muller, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have case 6625, Lido Beach, Schreiber Family Revocable Trust. Variances, lot area occupied, rear yard, construct one-story additions attached to dwelling, which are lower than 2 feet above base flood elevation, also known as 21 Cheltenham Street.
John Novello, 1253 Colonial Road, Hewlett, New York, 11557. Okay. Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the board. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Joel Schreiber. Unfortunately, Mr. Schreiber could not make it today. He's 88 years old, and because of the weather and the remaining snow and ice, it was a little dangerous for him to be here. We are seeking 3 variances from the board. The first one being lot coverage. We're proposing 2 one-story additions, and it's in a B zone, which is allowed 27.5%. We're proposing 28%, which is just a 39.2 square foot difference, so it's a very minimal request. The second variance is for rear yard. We're proposing an addition that lines up with an existing addition that is about 4.9 feet away, and because of the shape of the property, or the property is 120 wide by only 65 deep, even though it's considered a rear yard, in reality, the back of the house is sort of a side yard, and the side yard is really a rear yard. So again, we're just lining up with the existing rear one-story addition. So we feel that that's not a big request. And last but not least is a variance that the addition does not meet the DFE. As I believe there's letters in the application. Again, Mr. Schreiber is 88 years old. He suffered a bad fall and had some brain surgery and needs to have handicapped accessibility. So the goal of these additions on the first story is to provide Mr. Schreiber with a handicap toilet in his bedroom, and to provide a little bit more of leisure space or recreational space, like a family room, so because he can't climb stairs, so he can't use the second story of his house. So if the board has any questions about our proposal, I'd love to answer them.
Mr. Novella, I just want to make sure I understand. The proposed additions would comply with the BFE.
That's correct.
They just won't comply with the DFE.
That is correct.
Now,
Right,
did
Kurt?
you,
The BFE is 13.0, and the existing first floor is 13.18, so it's a hair above the BFE, but it doesn't meet the 15.
the existing?
Existing.
And because this has to be wheelchair accessible, the addition has to be at that level too.
Exactly.
Now, did you or do you intend to seek any sort of variance from the state? Or, I
Yes,
mean, that's your problem, but
Yeah, I believe that before we got to the zoning board, the plan examiner had us pre-fill out some applications with the state.
oh, so they're going to they do that after you're
I
done
believe
here?
so. I believe so.
Does that make sense? Okay, either way,
Either way, yeah.
okay.
I guess we'll
Yeah, that's,
follow up with the state to make sure if we need anything from them.
I mean, if the state sees fit, then
Well,
okay, so, council, the board is just telling me that usually ends up that you get it first, but I realize in this, wait, you might be taking, in this situation, there's some sense of urgency for the medical
yeah.
issues.
I don't want to bring this up, but I'll step back. We were actually supposed to go for a variance sometime last year, and at that time.
To the state?
No, to the town of Hempstead. And at that time, Mrs. Schreiber was alive. So this addition was a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, Mrs. Schreiber passed away during, right before we were supposed to come before this board. So then Mr. Schreiber downscaled the project. And so there's been a big changes in the delay, so now we're here. And I believe the building department told us to come here first.
Did this include a ramp of any sort, or no?
No.
Okay, all right, so, council's informed me that we can go ahead and consider the case despite that, given the emergency situation and the medical conditions involved. And so I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Novella, be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second. All in favor? Oh, Dawn.
Let our court reporter rest her hands for 5 minutes. And then,
When the blood
is
comes
5
back,
enough,
we'll
Stephanie?
hear the last case.
Next, we'll be calling case 6725, Levittown, Crown of Spices Incorporated. Waive off-street parking, convert retail store to restaurant, also known as 56 East Village Green.
Do we pay her?
Okay, well, I'll tell you the story, but we're going to hear the applicants first, and then we'll, if you're objectors, we'll call you up, okay? They're hearing them, they're going to object. Kidding me? Where's the sign-in sheet?
Clement Familusi, 1 Familusi Court, Huntington.
Hold on, you have to speak louder so she can hear you to take it down. It's harder to hear up here than it would
Well.
seem.
There's only 3 people.
Clement Familusi, 1 Familusi Court, Huntington, New York. Representing the owner
Okay.
and the tenant.
Who is the gentleman seated next to you?
Akib Shekoni, 188 East Jamaica Avenue, Valley Stream. I'm the architect on the project.
Okay. You signed it with an address at 15609 Rockaway Boulevard.
That's my office address.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, the applicant made an application for a restaurant. The place was leased July 2024, and the application went through the normal process, and a variance is required for the parking.
Okay.
Application was made for variance. Evidence was shown that there is enough parking. The parking requirement for the restaurant is 34 car parks. There is 107 parking lots in the vicinity.
How close?
Municipal parking, right in front and in the back.
Hold on, that's a municipal lot?
Yes, it's a municipal parking.
Oh, I see that there.
So, and it's owned by the town of Hempstead. We are seeking and imploring that, we be granted quick approval because
Does he have any?
the applicant has been making rental payments, and still there has to be construction to be done. So,
Interior alteration?
interior alteration, yes.
Okay. What are how many other businesses are in that same building, if you know?
5 other businesses.
5 plus yours?
Yes.
Oh.
Actually, the one that we are talking about is 3 stalls, which is being combined into one to make the restaurant.
So if you put your business in there, using the 3 stalls,
Yes.
how many other businesses will be in there? Still 5 others?
Yes, still 5.
Okay. And do we have any, usually when we do these cases, what we try to look at in terms of whether or not the municipal lot, for example, would be able to take care of the parking needs for this business. Sometimes we look at things like other businesses. Let's say your business is busiest from 6 to 10 in the evenings, right? And let's just say, for the sake of example, that 3 of the other businesses are doctor's offices, which close. So most of the time you need the parking lot, they don't. So we call that non-simultaneous use. Or
Actually, the architect did an analysis.
Pardon me?
The architect did some analysis in terms of, the parking requirements for the other tenants.
Okay, did he create a written document of that?
Yes, there was a
Do we
reading.
have that already?
Yeah, you do.
What's the person's name that I can look for?
I can send that up there if,
Are you the architect, sir?
Yes, he's
Oh,
the
I thought you were the business owner.
Can I just
No.
say something here? Yeah, I know what you are asking about.
Yeah, so hold on, let me just find your analysis so that I can,
yes, it is. Okay. No, it doesn't matter. You can see that if you want, but they're gonna ask you to.
it's your choice, the order in which you go. I mean, since the only thing you need is parking. We have now found the parking diagram and the numbers here. Let's see, calculations. I don't, did you, in your analysis, by any chance, go over there during any times of the day to count the available spots? Sometimes people do that.
Yes.
Okay, and is that written down anywhere?
No, it's not written down.
It is or is not?
No, it's not.
Okay. All right, go ahead and proceed with whatever you want to tell us about the parking and how what is here would be adequate for your needs and the needs of the other businesses. Again, to the extent that your busy hours are not when the other businesses' busy hours are, you want to tell us about, like, oh, that's a doctor's office and therefore, whatever you know, so that we can get a picture of how and if and how parking would work there.
Yeah, like you said, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Can-
6. Well, there are 6 stores.
Yeah, we can't hear you
altogether.
at all.
Yeah, there are 6 stores altogether. 4 of them are retail stores. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of them are retail stores, and those ones are very
Wait,
busy.
I'm sorry, slower and louder.
Yeah.
4 of them are retail stores.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the 4 retail stores usually are busy in the morning till in the evening, and they get closed around 5, 6, or 7. And the restaurant itself, so those ones that will need the parking at that period of time.
Hold on, I'm having trouble following you, because when you back up away from the microphone. Okay, so I'm looking at your diagram. So I see existing retail store 1, 792 square feet.
Yes.
What kind of what kind of retail store is that?
That's the
The first one,
the first one is,
we do.
no, that's the Chinese takeout.
So let's take out here.
This says existing retail store.
Yeah, it's considered,
So on page, on your parking diagram, let's make sure we're talking about the same one, numbered 1, because it's number 1. So looking at the page, it's the one on the far left. Okay, is that the Chinese restaurant?
yes,
Okay,
it's a takeout, not.
Chinese takeout.
Chinese
Yeah.
takeout.
Okay, next, they have retail store, same size, 792.
That's a game store,
A what?
a game store. They
Game-
sell
like-
gaming.
Okay, is it gaming that I go there during retail hours and buy it?
Yeah.
Or is it people go there and play games?
No, they buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know the hours of that store? Or, probably weekdays close at 9 or something?
I have the property manager here, he
Oh,
can
great,
tell us.
okay,
Oh.
great, we'll get to that. And then the next one, I think, is your proposed restaurant?
Yes,
Okay, and that's 1,319 square feet?
yes.
And how many chairs are there?
There's gonna be,
It's on the next page,
it's on the next page, it's gonna be, I believe it's 94, right?
Bless you. 94?
68 chairs.
No, it's 1016, but
that
that's maximum capacity. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be fully.
Sure. Does that include the bar seats?
Yes.
Okay, so then, and how many employees?
Uh,
I know it's a range,
Seven,
but
7 employees,
7 employees at the height of it, when you're busiest.
yes.
Okay. The next store, retail store 4, what's that?
T-shirt printing shop,
Okay. Retail or wholesale?
retail.
Okay. Next one, store 5, 817 square feet.
Pardon?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's 101 seats plus 7 employees.
Ajin Shaker.
Take it over, take one of them with you if you're gonna speak.
Ajin Shaker, 34 Garden Boulevard, Hicksville, New York.
You gotta pull it closer. It's way more difficult to hear. Okay, so do you wanna change any of your prior answers now? That's a joke. Okay, number 5 is the retail store, 817 square feet. What's that store?
It's
That's a salon.
this one, right?
It's a what?
That's a salon.
The
right?
after,
A salon? A salon?
Yeah, nail salon.
Nail
Nail
salon.
salon.
No, this is
Okay.
T-shirt. This is nail salon. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, number 4 is T-shirt. Nail salon.
4 is T-shirt. Yeah,
Number
we
4
got
is
that.
T-shirt printing store.
Right,
Yeah,
the other one's a
yeah,
nail salon.
and the other
Number
one's a
5 is
salon.
nail salon.
Now, there's a pizzeria that ironically doesn't tell how many square feet it is.
The pizzeria, I think
Looks
that's
larger
12.
than your, yeah, existing pizzeria. We don't know, huh? Okay,
That is 1,600. If you look at the full page, below the plan.
Below what?
1675.
It's 1675 for
If you look
the.
at
oh,
the same
down
plan.
below. I was looking in the restaurants.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least we have an idea of the types of restaurants there. I don't suppose you, well, maybe I can ask the property manager later what the hours are, because I would assume that's going to be part of your testimony as to how you think this would satisfy all the parking needs. One other question, do we know what the total parking needed for the whole, oh, here,
Yeah, we have it.
that can't, oh, the whole place needs 86.
86 is
86 is the total.
Just for that store?
No.
No.
Is there a train tracks near here that uses this parking? No. Okay.
Who uses the municipal lot? What is that, commuters?
No, that's why I just asked.
No, I believe that originally the shopping strip there uses it. And when this building was supposed to be built, there was another lot next door which was supposed to be used for the parking for this building.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was waived as a green space so that, the municipal parking lot can then be used. So that was the agreement between the developer and the town at the time, that, the lot next door will not be used as a parking lot. It will be, become a green space so that, there will always be,
Is that, he's talking?
the
That's
town
the
will always
green
allow
space.
them to use the parking lot, the municipal parking.
Where the hell, where's
In
the,
front
where's
and
the
in back.
radius map? Where's the green space? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, that's what that was my.
Mr. Pellegrini, who's more familiar than I, because at first glance, it looks like, wow, 86 spots needed for the whole shopping center and 107 in the municipal lots, no commuters using it, seems great. But then Mr. Pellegrini, who's familiar with the area, pointed out to me that there's a town swimming pool there that also uses that lot.
The town swimming pool also have their own parking lot, so actually I can send this to you so that you can see the area picture of the place.
Okay.
This is the swimming pool parking lot. Yes, yes.
Setback evidence.
All right, so why don't you, now that we have a little bit better, at least, view of the layout, Mr. Pellegrini is more familiar with the area, tell us how you think the municipal parking area will be sufficient for your restaurant and the other people using it in the same strip mall, and anyone else who you know uses it, like maybe, I don't know if there's anything else at the parking lot, at the swimming pool, but just in general, why don't you explain to us how you don't need your own parking lot because the municipal lot will take care of the whole shopping center and whomever else needs it.
Wait, 1 second.
So when you said 107, that was the total number of spots, both in front of you and in back of you in the municipal lot?
Yeah, just in front and in the back. But that is not the total number of parking in the whole street. This is just in front of this building and in the back of this building.
So
the other side with the pet store has their own parking.
Is their parking part of the municipal lot, but it's just the part that's over by them?
Yes, but this is not being counted as part of this.
So in other words, when you
So
tell us
They
107,
might have another, maybe 107, both in front and in back of.
that's the pet store, the daycare, and then the next strip mall that's also near the parking lot.
Yes,
So do we have any idea how many total spots there are?
I would say it's about 200 and change, I wouldn't know the exact number.
Do you know what number this municipal parking lot is named? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
probably
saw it.
L,
13, I think it was, I saw it.
And the,
L3.
and the
L3?
daycare there, they already moved.
what?
The daycare there, in the marking location, it's mentioned like
Okay.
daycare.
The daycare move.
They already moved from the
It's
location.
not there.
Okay,
And
but something will presumably
Okay,
fill that space.
so
yeah,
it's,
and the animal hospital there, they are planning to
Okay.
open the shelter close
So-
to that.
so it's L3.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can we just ask them in the highway how many spaces L3 has?
it's front and back, I don't know if there's,
Unless, you might even
you don't
know.
have to.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Can you folks hear okay? Why don't you could move up to the front.
Counting those, so that was irrelevant,
Okay, but, okay, so, go ahead and tell us the story, tell us how this is gonna work, how you see it working.
Yeah, the way we see it working is that, the restaurant is gonna operate
Yeah, so the restaurant, as he said, we got the seating. When we draw the seating, we have the seating up to like total occupied 106, but we are planning to put only 68 seating for dining area and 10 seating on the bar.
bar.
So,
What was that, 168?
no,
No.
68.
The capacity is 101,
Right.
but they are planning to put 68 sitting area for the main hall, sitting dining area.
Yeah, because the reason
Instead of 101, and 10 for the bar.
10 for the bar. And also we all know that like it's the restaurant coming with the liquor and all. So most of the people dining there, they use the Uber. They don't want to drive by their own after drinking, right? So other the remaining area, we are using for the dining.
Could somebody explain tell us the hours of operation, proposed hours of operation for the restaurant?
Yeah, we are planning to open the restaurant by 11 o'clock in the morning and 3 to 5 break. And again, we are ending up by 10 o'clock.
Even on weekends?
Weekends, yeah, weekends go into the same.
What are the hours?
11 a.m. to 10 p.m. That a 7-day-a-week
No,
operation?
right now we are planning to operate only 6 days a week. In the future, if anything, we will update to the town.
What day not?
We are planning to close on Mondays.
Okay, so, this is an Indian food restaurant?
Yeah, it's an Indian food restaurant.
How often do you expect to get deliveries of supplies? And what size trucks? Will it be box trucks or tractor trailers?
No,
And what time of the day, if you know?
No, it's the Ram 2500, the small van. We already bought the van.
So your
there-
people go to market and you pick up your
Yeah.
provisions?
Yes,
Only that?
only that. It's not going to be a big box trucks or
Okay,
something.
so you guys will use your van, get your provision. Now, does that include alcohol?
Yes.
And does that include things like soda, like those big Coca-Cola trucks?
Coca-Cola, no, they have the 7-Eleven, all the other stores there,
They
so
have
this, they have the 7-Eleven in the same stride. 7-Eleven.
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 Yeah, so the same dealers, when they come, they will drop it off
Wait, where's the 7-Eleven?
at the front of the, on Jerusalem Avenue.
It's where?
It's by
at-
Jerusalem Avenue.
Too many people are talking at once. Where's the 7-Eleven?
One at a time.
Jerusalem Avenue.
Okay, so the 7-Eleven, so the truck that delivers to 7-Eleven
Yeah,
is gonna, and how often is that truck? Do you expect that?
I don't know exactly how often they are delivering, but
how many
if they made the concern, I can pick up the soda by my van itself.
Okay, well, it's really important for us to know,
here it is.
when it comes to commercial properties, how often we have to anticipate, particularly box trucks and tractor trailers, because there are issues about where they park, there's issues about the noise, leaving the diesel running, this is stuff that comes up all the time. So there will be the soda truck,
No.
and you're not sure how often.
Yeah, in case if the concern, I can pick up when I go to the restaurant depot, I can pick up the soda from there. They are selling that too. So in the van itself.
Okay, now, will the trash pickup be town or private cart?
It's a private, the Jamaica.
Okay, and trash pickup is often a significant issue, believe it or not. If it's too early in the morning or too late at night, and they lift the thing, they run the motor, they crash down the glass, it's really quite noisy for people. So, do we know, maybe this is a question for this gentleman, which I guess we should get to him pretty soon, because maybe he can answer more of the questions about how often, where, that sort of thing, whether or not we can control the
you got?
time of pickup. So that's the food, that's the garbage, so we'll get to that with you. And do we know where I guess you could tell us where the dumpsters are or proposed to be? And I guess that's all
Yeah, Joe.
on that subject now for now, but we're gonna have to get back to that when he's here.
This is 367. Go on.
So Mr. Chairman, if there's nothing else you wish to add right at this moment, if you don't want to give us a narrative, then
We'll
we can
call
go
up
ahead
the
and let
manager.
the other folks who have an interest in the matter, and then as we go through them, maybe
right.
if there are questions.
Do you plan on having the gentleman in the white hat testify?
Yes, we do.
All right, so let's do it now, before we hear the objections. Have you been sworn in, sir?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Good afternoon. My first name is Jay, spelled Jay, last name is Shah, Shah. My company, Avanti Management Corp., manages this shopping center for last 14 months. And I'm here to answer any questions regarding the property. I was also the person who sold the property to the owner, so I'm aware of the details, yeah.
Okay, I guess I would like to know, so he mentioned the Coke, the sodas, maybe coming by the Safeway, the 7-Eleven truck. Does the pizzeria get, what's the extent to which the pizzeria has tractor trailers or box trucks coming for deliveries, and how often, and what
Okay,
times?
so these are very small businesses, so they don't stack up on sodas. For example, pizzeria has those fountain machines set up, so they get the syrup and then they mix it with the carbonated water. So they don't have, because I know I go to the basement, so they don't have those bottles. I mean, they may have a small refrigerator where they fill up small bottles and 2-liter bottles, and they get a delivery. So
does any business in these 5 businesses have tractor trailer deliveries?
As far as I know, no. We have a takeout Chinese restaurant there. Then we have the pizzeria, which is also takeout pizzeria for many years there. Those are the 2 food establishments that we have there. So I can only speak for what I have seen. I haven't spoken to the owners about specific delivery schedules, but for what I have seen, I haven't seen any big trucks back there, yes.
You manage the property?
Yes, I manage the property,
Wait,
correct.
for all of these?
All the stores, correct.
Okay,
So- No, go ahead,
So,
finish.
just to be clear, for these businesses, not just the restaurants, there's no tractor trailer deliveries?
No.
Okay, now, box trucks, those are they're, let's call it, usually they're, maybe from here to that wall, those,
Yeah, like I said, these are very small footprint restaurants, so they have a limited storage spaces. So like, for example, the Chinese takeout is less than 1,000 square feet, maybe around a little bit 1,000 square feet.
right, but I just want to know about the box trucks.
Right. What I'm trying to tell you is because of their capacity to serve, they don't have a lot of storage facility, so they don't get that kind of deliveries. So they actually buy their supplies on needed basis, like a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, and they get deliveries. So we don't particularly have like a huge trucks pulling up and are there.
So are there or are there not box truck deliveries? None?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now, hold on. So garbage pickup. Is it a
Right.
private car or the town? How often does it come and what time of the day?
Okay, so the garbage, currently, they have their own private carting companies. The restaurant, each tenant is required to have their private carting company pickup. Currently, we have, the Chinese restaurant has a container there, as well as the pizzeria. The other stores are very small stores that don't generate, so I think we have one additional, I think that's being shared. As far as the pickup are concerned, they can be, we can't tell the carting company because they are private operators. If there is any issue with any of the quality of life issue, we can ask them to or to really come at specific time and we can instruct them how to do the pickups and drop-offs.
So right now, the Chinese takeout has its garbage pickup.
Yeah, it's in the
Pizza-
rear, it's in the rear
Wait,
of
wait,
the
hold
place.
on. The pizzeria has a different one?
I'm sorry,
So the Chinese takeout has one carting company, pizzeria has a different one?
that I'm not aware of, I don't know, but they're supposed to have their own private carting
Okay,
company.
and have you selected yours? Do we know if that's different than the pizzeria and the Chinese, or we don't know
It
yet?
will probably be the same as the Chinese.
And
And we are not even sure whether the Chinese takeout and the pizzeria, maybe they are using the same truck.
So, as a property manager, I realize gaming would have less pickup. I'm surprised they don't get deliveries, but gaming would have less pickup than, and the nail salon and the t-shirt printer, but they will still have garbage pickup at least once a week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different garbage pickups, no?
Currently, the container that I see is for the restaurants, and there's one additional container that's being shared by the other tenant again. The gaming place, just to elaborate on that, is they sell used vintage games, buy and sell. So it's a very specialized place. They're not into selling, so, people come there for those kind of things. Nail salon has been there. They don't generate garbage as per se, and then,
Well, they
the other.
How many dumpsters are they all in the rear or in the?
Yes, so
Okay,
they
how
are in the
many?
rear of the property.
How many?
Right now, we would say 3 altogether. One is shared by the other tenants, and one for the pizza and one for the Chinese, yeah.
So are you putting an additional one in for this applicant, or are they using one of the 3?
No, I think that would be decided by the business owner. If they can be sufficient by sharing it, we can have them share it. Otherwise, they have to let me know how they're going to do it, yeah.
Okay, do you have any idea right now what time the garbage pickups, any of them are?
Schedule-wise, honestly, I don't, but usually on the commercial pickups, you can, depending on the size of the container and the type of the business, you can either request once every 2 times a week or 1 time a week, depending on how much business you are doing. So I believe for the Chinese restaurant is once every 2 weeks. And also, I think same thing with the pizza.
Do you have any, do you know the hours of any of the other businesses by chance?
Yes, so we require all the businesses in the lease to close by the time around 10 o'clock. So it's in the lease agreements as well, that the business opening and closing hours are all defined in the leases, so around 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Even the restaurants have to close by 10?
We require in the lease the timing, so I think, I can, if you need specifics for the pizza and the Chinese, I don't remember top of my head, but definitely by 11 o'clock, everybody's closed. And one thing I want to point out is that 3 separate buildings, and this is the last building, they're parking in the front and back of each of this building, and they're all, the parking for each business, I have not received any kind of complaint about the parking in this area. So each individual building has parking in the front, 2 lanes, and also in the back side, we have 2 front and the back side, so you have parking there as well.
Do you know, I'm mostly concerned with businesses that close earlier than 10. And so I was wondering if you know if the gaming, the t-shirt, or the nail salon, I gotta believe the nail salon does, because I never saw one open past 7, or maybe 8. But do you know what time the gaming store closes by any chance?
Yeah, I would say around, again, don't hold me to it, I know exact time, but around maybe 6 o'clock or so, maybe a little bit later in the summertime.
How about the nail salon?
Nail salon, same thing, maybe around 6 to 7.
All right. I guess we'll have to get those numbers elsewhere. Does anyone else have anything for this?
Just for the record, I want you to know that parking lot L3 has a capacity of 367 cars.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And wait, are you the property manager for the building that has the animal hospital, I think it was, and the daycare?
No, that's owned separately by somebody else.
So likewise, the one after that one?
Right,
also
correct.
on? Okay.
Right, so they're all separately owned. Actually, each building is separately owned, all three buildings, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll hear from the other folks right now, and then we'll be able to ask each of you questions, depending on the issues raised, so we can get through this. So let's see, where's the sign-in sheet? I'll just go down the sheet.
I'm going to swear everybody in that wants to speak.
Perfect.
Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Okay. When you guys get up to the podium on the call, state your names and addresses for the record. Okay?
Call folks in the order they signed in. Interested or opposed? Okay, well, I actually, let's see, I have 4 people signed in favor. That's the 3 of you and you, I take it.
Actually, he hasn't signed in.
Yeah, there's 5 of you guys. Oh, okay, yeah, there's one at the bottom. So then I have 3 people signed in, but I'm looking at 4.
3 of us would speak.
Okay, okay, but I just want to get the other person to sign in, because that way you get a copy of the decision once it's rendered, right? Here, let me call the first one, and then you get up. So let's go first with Michael Hare, maybe? Okay, and whoever's not signed in, sign in.
Good afternoon, Board. My name's Michael Hare. I live at 31 Constellation Road, Levittown, which is the block directly behind the shopping center in question. I just have a question for, I guess, Mr. Pellegrino. You said there's 347 spots there?
Yes.
67, 360.
367.
367?
Yes.
I don't know. That's kind of questionable to me.
Okay.
He got it from the town records.
I'm just curious because, first of all, La Focaccia Restaurant, when that has an affair, there is no parking in the front and they park in the back already. Joe Wyman will have pictures to testify to this.
Is that the restaurant that's referred to as a pizzeria?
Yes, it's 3 storefronts, and the restaurant that they're trying to propose was a retail store. They're trying to convert it to a restaurant, which is 3 storefronts also. Actually, when they bought it, they started construction last year without permits. It was shut down. There was a stop order. So I think they were trying to get this in under the gun, okay? The traffic in this area is insane already. Constellation Road is a cut-through. This is only going to bring more traffic. They're proposing, what, 68 seats and 11 at the bar? So almost 80 seats they're proposing that people can sit. The traffic is going to be crazy. As far as them stating there's no tractor-trailer deliveries, that's false, there is. La Focaccia gets Ferrara Foods there. They deliver. Correct. A couple times a week. 7-Eleven gets huge tractor trailers there at least 2 times a week. Ferrara is a huge box truck. 7-Eleven is tractor trailers from corporate, okay? As far as the dumpsters, Ferrara Foods, I believe, is the distributor that delivers to La Focaccia. Okay? Yes. Well, huge box trucks, probably 20-footers, 26-footers. Right.
The 7-Eleven really isn't in this situation except to the extent that they may be using the same delivery channel.
Right. Okay. The parking lot in the front will not sustain this amount of cars, and even if they're parking in the back, you have all the employees there, so you're going to be looking at a lot of vehicles here, okay? The dumpsters, it's going to be another issue because...
I want to go over each.
Okay.
So The building department's calculation for the number of parking spots needed for the whole building
Okay.
is 86.
Okay.
They didn't use the 367, but broke it up. They tell us they broke it up and just counted the ones in front and back of their building, which obviously is 20 or so, 21 spots more than what the building department determined they
Okay.
needed, which is usually always higher than what people think they need, whether they're accurate or not. So when you say that the parking lot, the parking spots that they've allocated to the ones in front of and back of their business won't be sufficient, tell us who you think is going to be using them instead.
Well, as I said, when La Focaccia has something, the entire front parking lot is full. And when the pool is open, June, July, August, that parking lot over by the pool, you can't even get in that parking lot. So this is gonna be an issue with the amount of vehicles there, with the amount of traffic. My concern is the safety. There's more and more children moving into the area. And I don't believe they're going to close at 10 o'clock. I don't believe that. Because I was a UPS driver in Hicksville, and South Broadway is loaded with Indian restaurants. And if you go down that block at 11 o'clock at night, they're in full-fledged operation. They're not closed. So I don't think they're gonna close. They're gonna have to get dumpsters. I have a major issue with the dumpsters. I am in constant contact with Andy Vega, who is a supervisor for sanitation, and we have companies picking up at 4:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock. The earliest they could pick up is 7:30, that's it. And
Okay, hold on. So the dumpsters are proposed, apparently are currently behind the building
Yes.
and are proposed behind. And you said I have a major issue with dumpsters. What's the issue with dumpsters?
Noise, with the slamming of the dumpsters when they pick up before their scheduled time.
Okay, but that's the pickup, that's not the dumpster.
Yes, and also the garbage. I believe there's gonna be a lot of more food waste, which is gonna attract rats. I can't tell you how many rats I catch in my yard now, and I think it's only gonna be compounded.
But
I
wait,
have-
hold on.
Okay.
So you live across, so from the front of the building, wait, I just want to make sure if I have this right, which is
I live directly behind La Focaccia on Constellation.
right. And it just looks like there's a lot of distance between the subject premises, then the wide lot.
Right.
And then Constellation Road. So you still hear the dumpster closing?
Absolutely.
Okay,
It sounds like a car goes through the front of your house.
okay. Well, they have to have dumpsters.
Right,
So our goal would be to figure out how to make it more harmonious, I would say. The garbage pickup times, you're saying right now they come at 4:30. I've been there, so I do get that.
When they do come that early, I'm on the phone with Andy Vega, and then he has to address that with the specific carding companies, whether it's Waste Management, National Waste, Jamaica Ash, and we have to shut that down. But as far as trucks delivering, yes, trucks do deliver there. And that was a
Hold on, let's do
okay.
one thing at a time. Okay, so you had indicated, sir, that you can control the garbage pickup times. It sounds like the other folks there, since we're addressing this on this, so you said that they aren't allowed to come before 7:30? I've
Before
never heard
7
that.
o'clock, they can't pick up commercial garbage.
They can or
Before 7
cannot?
o'clock in a residential area. And that's where that strip mall is, in a residential area.
Okay, hold on. So if we were to try to, you could control the garbage pickup for all these tenants?
So we want to be your neighbor, and we really appreciate the feedback, and by everyone, we always take things into consideration. So, I can, with the tenant, speak to the carding company to, number one, whenever they're doing, we can request time which is obviously not disturbing to the neighbors, and maybe also do it in a better way where they're not slamming the dumpster. And again, the pickup time, how many times they pick up, again, it depends on the businesses. So if we can do once every 2 weeks, if the business allows, maybe they get a larger
You're not
dumpster.
going to be able to do once
Right,
every 2 weeks. then the
again,
garbage
it's,
is gonna pile up.
we can come up with a solution which improves the quality of life. And I
Okay.
can talk to, I can talk to the manager, but I have to work with the tenant, with the carding company, and also maybe in.
Yes, I understand that, but
right.
you said earlier that you are able to control the pickup times.
Yeah, so we can request to the carding company, if you can do the pickup at a certain time, maybe.
Okay, because this is 5 different carding companies, right?
Well, most of the like for example, I manage another shopping center in New Hyde Park where Waste Management is the only company who provides all the dumpsters in the shopping.
We're talking about this one.
Right, so so you're gonna be using the same company? Same company, right? Okay, they're gonna be using the same carding company also, so, yeah.
All right, I just need to know you're able to control that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So that's one, and then we need a solution for the slamming. Okay, go to the next.
The traffic in the area, I think is just gonna be compounded beyond belief with a restaurant coming. I'm sorry. I just think the traffic is gonna be worse than it is now. Constellation Road is a cut-through between Jerusalem Avenue and Wanter Avenue. I'm in constant contact with the inspector at the 8th Precinct to try and control it, and this is only gonna bring more traffic to the area, a lot of traffic. I don't believe they're gonna close down that restaurant at 10 o'clock. I don't believe that. If they found a different location.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, most restaurants do quit the kitchen at 10, but, okay.
I mean, he stated he was gonna open at 11 in the morning till 10 at night. The other place, the Chinese restaurant, that's takeout, cars are in and out. These cars are gonna be parked there. If they're coming in for a sit-down meal, they're not gonna be in and out like the video store, they sell the used videos, the Chinese restaurant, the nail salon. These cars are gonna be, I just think the parking there is gonna be horrific. It's not gonna work.
What were the 3 stores? I will say, the Uber remark, it is true that we've been seeing this a lot the last couple of years. When there is alcohol available, people do Uber more, it is true. It doesn't solve all the problems, I
Right.
get it. But what 3 stores were there before this, if you know?
It was retail. It used to be a mini market that sold, sodas and stuff, and then it became a vape store, which was shut down, so.
So
I don't
the
know.
whole thing was the one market?
Yes, it's 54, 56, and I believe 58 are the 3 numbers for that, so.
Okay, so something, so you think, it's your thinking that a retail place there is better than a restaurant there?
Right, I do.
Okay. Anything
Which
else?
was there before, and we never had parking issues. And as I said, more and more children have moved in the area, and when that pool's open, that parking lot is full, and I just don't think this type of restaurant is conducive to the area. I don't think it should be there.
Okay. All right. Is that all, sir?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Next, thank you very much. Next person is Joseph Weinman. And just give your name and address for the record so she can take it down.
Sure. My name is Joseph Weinman. I live at 5 Astronomy Lane, and my home actually faces the green that's in question. One of the first things I'd like to point out is that, yes, there was, in fact, construction being done before permits were submitted, and a stop work order was put in place on October 24th, 24. I would also like to make note that there were several seniors that would like to have been here today that were afraid to come out because of the ice and the snow and so on. They didn't want to be out and slipping on the ice, so I wanted to make that known. In fact, I do have a letter from one of the members here of the LPOA, the Levittown Property Owners Association. I also have a few other things that I'd like to present to the board, I have,
Okay, hold on, let's do this one first.
sure.
Is that a letter that you guys got?
That's the letter from Dale Bertrand, and she's secretary of the Levittown Property Owners Association.
Okay, and did you get it from her directly?
I beg your pardon?
Did you get it from her directly?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I picked it up from her before we came here.
Thank you, we'll accept that into evidence.
Okay, also, I'd like to submit a petition that I went door to door from all the neighbors in the neighborhood, and I collected approximately 25 signatures from people just in the local that are opposed to this because they feel the same way that we do, that parking is at a premium.
And those folks, you had them sign it, and those signatures fairly and accurately represent the person, you know those to be the signatures of those people.
That's correct.
Okay, we'll accept that into evidence. Go ahead.
Yes. I also have that I can provide photographs that I've taken of the parking lot, and there are dates and times. And these just kind of give you an idea of what the actual scene is. Now, this is, you have to mind you that these pictures are taken in from the very end of the year to the last couple of weeks. So we're not dealing with the pool or anything like that. These are just clearly just the restaurant, and these are images that we're taking when La Focaccia, the restaurant that is in existence, when they're open, they're very, very busy. We're very happy that he has
Which restaurant is that?
It's called La Focaccia.
And-
That's the pizzeria.
Oh, I thought it was called, okay. And do the photos fairly and accurately represent what they purport to represent? They've not otherwise been altered or anything of that sort?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, we'll accept those into evidence.
Okay, so I just wanted them to see, you know, what parking actually looks like there.
What was he?
Mentioning the trucks, as you were talking about before, tractor trailers do come into that parking lot from 7-Eleven, and we're talking 18-wheelers. Ferraro Foods also has 16 and 18-wheelers delivering.
Where's Ferraro Foods?
Ferraro Foods is a delivery that delivers to the Italian restaurant that is in existence there now.
Okay, so the 7-Eleven trucks, are you saying they come in there to deliver stuff also to
We see.
La Focaccia, or is it because, are they
Well,
just parking there?
What
on
I'm
lunch
saying,
break?
what I'm saying is that there are tractor trailers. You were asking if there were tractor trailers. Yes, there are tractor trailers that are coming through there, 16 and 18-wheelers.
Yeah, I mostly wanted to know if they're, to the extent to which they're coming to make deliveries there.
Mhm.
So that sounds like to the extent they come, it's for that Italian restaurant.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say I see box trucks very frequently, and less frequently, we do see tractor trailers coming in there.
And they're all, since their restaurant doesn't exist yet, and the Chinese place is small and takeout, are those delivery trucks, box trucks of sort? It sounds like this is all the pizzeria right now.
No, well, they're coming for the Italian restaurant, of course. They're also coming for the
Wait, is
Chinese
there-
restaurant.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just want to get this clear. I apologize. The Italian restaurant is also the pizzeria, at least and that's La Focaccia?
Yes.
And what was La Vantaggio you kept talking?
Focaccia is the Italian restaurant.
Oh, you're saying focaccia.
La Focaccia.
Okay, so I thought you were saying La Vantaggio earlier, and I'm like, that's why I kept getting so confused about this.
Okay.
Okay, so keep going. That's the focus right now.
So I've lived in this location for 45 years, and I've seen a lot of changes through the years. The neighborhood would love to see a retail business there. For another restaurant to be put in this location would be further burdening the parking in this situation. And that's really the main thing. We're talking about the health, safety, and welfare of our community. Need I say more?
Yeah, he got it.
I'll see if I can make a copy of that, right?
The next person,
If I may make one other statement. We have had in the last year to make several calls to have the remainder of the property, at the very east end of that property, there's grass and trees, which can no longer be built on, okay? the property owner should be maintaining that property, and several times we had to call the town to actually have them come and take care of business as far as the grass was a foot high and
Has
nobody
that been
was...
within the last 14 months?
This happened in the last 14 months, last summer, in fact, several times. We've had
Okay,
issues.
you don't need to tell me. I just wanted to make sure that you guys, that you give them your contact information, because it sounds like, no, I wasn't asking that. Would you just do us a favor? Give your contact information to them so that they have a way of contacting you if that issue arises. Sounds like since you're on board, you're now going to keep things the way they should be. Cleared up now? Okay. Okay, great. So now we know you're going to take care of it. And if you don't mind giving these gentlemen your contact information and these other folks here, so that if you notice something that surely you want to be made aware of any issues, right? It works out perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Christine, I think the name was. Christine, where is it? Oh, Christine. Oh, yeah, it almost looks like Morocco.
No, it's my middle initial is M, because my mother and I have the first and last name similar, same.
Oh, that's a W, not a CCO. OW, Morrow, like Edward R. Yes. Okay, you're up to bat.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Sure. You've already been sworn in, so give your name and address for the record, please.
Absolutely. Okay. My name is Christine Margaret Morrow. I reside at 17 Heather Lane now for the last 24 years. I grew up around the block at 9 Tulip Lane in Levittown, New York. For 57 years, I have resided across the street from the East Village Green and enjoyed my younger years in the playgrounds, the swimming pool, and growing up with all of our stores. I am the daughter of James E. Morrow Sr., who I would like to point out in the years past, my dad has passed, but for 47 years, he was the president of the Levittown Property Owners Association. This is a significant fact because he stood here before this body of government and the New York State Supreme Court, winning multiple cases to preserve the covenant of the LPRD, which is the Levittown Planned Residence District. Today, I am the corresponding secretary of the Levittown Property Owners Association, and I represent all of our members in objecting to the plans that Crown Spices has requested for off-street parking. The request that the LPOA received, and I am requesting that the LPOA receive notification, because we haven't received any, for all of the variances and building requests. Specifically, for example, and these were concerns that were brought up at our meeting last month, the basement usage. We were told that the floor was cut open from one end to the other to install a staircase down into the basement. We would like to know what the development of the basement will become. Is it going to become a nightclub, very similar to Coco with the problems that they have up on the peak of Wanta Avenue and Hicksville Road?
Hold on, were
Yep.
you, who told you this?
The members that came to the meeting
okay.
for the Levittown Property Owners Association, this was the concerns that I'm representing from our community.
So the concern there is?
Why was the basement, yes.
We don't want a nightclub, okay.
Cut open. So is there a potential plans for a nightclub? Are there potential plans for the vape store to come back down and be developed into the basement?
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, what vape store?
There used to be a vape store that is no longer
Oh, okay.
part of the green.
Okay.
It's an objection from the local residents and the members of our Levittown Property Owners Association.
Do you propose, Do you have any intention of this being a vape store of any? Okay.
Not at all.
Or a nightclub.
How about the nightclub? And what do you,
Neither a nightclub.
what's the what's the basement going to be used for?
It's for storage.
Storage.
From the staircase will go from the kitchen to store.
My deep freezer is on the basement.
The deep freezer
Hold
is
on,
in the basement.
but she can't
So-
take down more than one person talking at a time. So let him in, hey, do you
The,
want
the deep freezer is in the basement, so it's for storage,
Storage.
yes.
Now, Ms. Morrow,
Yes,
if they do, which he said he's not going to, he's under oath, put something in the basement, a bar, using it other than storage, that's going to trigger another variance for parking. So
Correct.
Keep that in mind.
yes.
And since he stated on the record today, what do you think the board would do tomorrow if he decided to do that?
Thank you. Because
You're welcome.
that would be the concern with the extended hours of operation also.
Just
Which-
let me confirm for you that it does show on the plans, the basement with a walk-in box, and it's all to be used as storage, okay?
Yes.
It's on the file plans.
Thank you. Just because we had noticed, and I wanted to acknowledge that regarding the basement, there's exterior entry that has been utilized since the inception of the original IGA Grocery back from the 1950s under Dennis Machado, the Marco Polo Lounge, and the current grocery that had been there prior to Crown Spices coming in. So we just wanted to say that the exterior had always been utilized, and now we're looking for the interior.
Hold on a second. So the plans do show the new stair hall. Is that you guys have added a staircase to go down to the basement?
Yeah, we have the stairs, whatever the stairs they are talking, it's inside the kitchen, going directly to the basement. That's where I am storing my dry masalas, and the deep freezer is going to be there.
So, yes, you've added a staircase to go to the basement. I see the walk-in box there.
Yeah.
And you've done so to get from your kitchen to the basement for storage. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
basement first.
Thank you. Okay, the quiet hours were answered ahead of time, so thank you for that. And I would like to also just, I feel like we've harped on it, but I looked at the diagram there for the parking stalls, and in the section behind the buildings, and actually, let me just back up a moment, please. There is not one store that claims if you are dropping off at the cleaners, you may only park here. This is for cleaner parking only. There's not drop-off for the animal vet. Nobody has signage saying you may only park in these stalls if you are coming into this business. Nowhere. Not by the swimming pool, not in the middle, and not behind the stores as well. So there have been times where you park at one end and you could walk to the second building. Park at the second building, walk over to something it's all walkable. You can walk from one end, from building 1 to building 3, and there's no differentiation as to where you can only park for a certain building. So these parking stalls can be used by anyone and everyone.
Of course, it's a municipal lot.
It's a municipal lot, thank you. And I calculate, I know the 367 number came out. If you only look at the stalls behind and in front, I calculated 217 off of the map. And then if you add on and include the pool side, which is only utilized 3 months out of the year heavily, a couple cars for the playgrounds, they have an additional 135, bringing our total to 352. And I want to point out, handicap parking is also going to have to be added because we have many of our members who are older. So I don't know if that's part of today's hearing,
No.
but that does have to be addressed.
That's something that's addressed by town board. They own the lot. They're the ones that can create handicap parking spaces.
Okay,
I just wanted not to, be negligent in not bringing that point up. Okay, then, I think honestly, just to let you know, my purpose here was to help maintain the quality of life on behalf of the Levittown Property Owners Association, and I thank everybody in the room, and I invite, and I don't want to mess up anybody's names, because I was just trying to write them down phonetically as I was hearing them, but to all of you that are here from Crown Spices, I do invite you to contact us or give us a contact number so that you could come to the Levittown Property Owners Association and let us, hear what's going on, because you have a different perspective than, a slight different perspective than what we've been hearing.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay, before we go a little further, I just want to say, we come across this a lot, and the fact of the matter is, the complaints that we have here are not uncommon. This application, to be fair, it's likely that if we denied it in its entirety, that they would likely prevail. I think on an Article 78, that doesn't mean we're not going to deny it or we're not going to approve it or we are going to approve it. But I think it's really valuable for us to go through as many things as we can that if approved, it's more palatable. And what I mean by that is talking about making sure that we deal with the deliveries and the dumpsters and the noise. And I say this because I would like to ask a couple of things. You've said that you have no intention of this becoming sort of a cabaret or a nightclub. No. If the board were to consider, in our deliberations, and if we were to consider granting this application, would you accept a condition that it not become that?
Yes.
Okay. Same question with regard to a vape hookah shop. You said you have no intention of this being that. You're making a restaurant. Would you agree? Would you agree to a condition, if we were to approve it, that this will not become a vape or hookah place?
It's not a vape.
No, it's only the restaurant.
Yes.
We are not doing anything
Yes, it
in the
would not
way
be.
of hookah.
You agree to a condition?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay. And then, would you agree also, if we were to consider it, that the basement be used only for storage, including, I know you have the walk-in down there, but that it be used for storage only, not for an
Yes.
expansion of the restaurant in any sort of way?
No, it will be used only for storage.
Only for the storage.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I've forgotten. The dumpsters, I don't know a solution for the slamming of the dumpsters, and we could talk about it all day here. But
They have salt cover lids. It's always going to make some sound, but different garbage.
I've seen those now that you say it.
Soft lids, yes. The hours are the problem.
Right, I get that. And the soft lids, I wonder if that doesn't make the other problem of the rats worse. So it's primarily the, all that.
I-
noted also that even at the Italian restaurant alone, I see twice a day, 2 trucks a day picking up from there. Not just
Picking up trash,
2. Well, you have to think it, that it's probably picking up some.
recyclables, and garbage.
And maybe recycle stuff, so there's 2 dumpsters get empty every day,
So,
which is good.
I was gonna say,
Bottom
but,
line is if adding another restaurant, you're gonna have, how many more dumpsters?
but the problem is, well, the problem is, if you don't want it picked up as often, then you need more dumpsters. And then somewhere in there rises the right equation for the refuse not accumulating.
So,
Question also, are they going to be putting some type of containers for the grease behind the restaurant, which they have to do?
Do
Have to
you-
recycle the grease?
I mean, that's standard operation for any restaurant.
Pardon me?
It's part of the code. You have to have a grease,
Right, but I think, are you required to recycle the grease?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have the
Okay.
routine maintenance,
Yes.
peoples to do that, all the things. Another thing about the dumpster, anyway, we are going to with the private company. So if my neighbors, that's the concern of early morning pickup, I 100% say, I will talk with the private companies who are picking up the garbages and make the time like after 7 o'clock.
Are you operating one or more restaurants now?
Yeah, this place, I'm going to be there full-time there. If my neighbors have any concern, they can meet me there, I am going to be there full-time.
Right,
And-
but I want to know if you're currently operating a restaurant anywhere.
Not currently. I was in partner.
Pardon me?
My family, they are doing the restaurant before, but now I want to open by the own. So I come out of the partnership and doing my own.
Okay, so what I'm trying to ask you is, so have you operated a restaurant?
Yes.
Okay, so based on your experience, how much grease might you need to store before it's disposed of at any given time?
It's like, we are planning to put like 75 gallon of grease trap there.
Pardon me?
75 gallon grease trap there.
75
75 gallon. We are
Okay,
That's a
so-
big size.
So do you store that in one big drum, or is it 5 buckets, just?
No, it's like the one big 75 gallon thing under the ground.
Okay, so it's
we-
not something you're gonna put down in the basement, because it's
No, no.
too heavy to, so what do? You put a drum in the, outside the back door, or what?
No, it's not, it's a big, yeah.
I know, I'm just trying to get at where it's gonna be stored.
It's gonna be at the back of the store.
Back of the store, begin the store before the parking lot, there's a space.
So, is it 2 big drums?
No,
What I'm trying
it's
to
a
ask you is,
single-
is the grease guy gonna come once a year and there's 50 drums out there? Is he gonna come weekly and so there's a 50-gallon drum? Like, what's it gonna look like to
No,
these?
we know like for example, once it's filled or before filling, we know the routine maintenance. Once it's fully dependent based on the operation of the restaurant. If it's like fully occupied, I need to clean it out very frequently. If it's like very slow, then it will be like, until like, we know that when it's ready filling.
So based on your experience, how often do you expect the grease guy to pick up the grease?
Right? Like, twice a month?
Once a month?
Yeah,
And do you think you'll have 1 large barrel or 2 large barrels out there?
As of now, we are planning to put 1 large barrel,
And is that a 50-gallon drum?
75.
Pardon me?
75.
Okay, so 1 drum, he comes once a month.
Yeah.
I'm just asking in terms of what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna smell like, how often it's another truck. You know, I'm just asking because I have no framework in which to understand.
Yeah, and also it's going to be anything like if they are talking about the smell or something. I'm opening the restaurant. I need to be responsible to who are walking in the restaurant. Don't want to see those mess. They can't eat the food there.
Right.
Right.
You're right.
So I was concerned about that, and also I'm going to be there for another 15 years lease. I will need to be very friendly with my neighbors. So whatever they have the concern, they can walk into the place, they can meet me, and they can talk with me. We can 100% I'm sure we will do it for them.
Okay.
Another thing, the timing wise, I'm concerned about their operating hours. I'm sure they repeatedly saying about the operating hours. I'm sure I can open the open and close the restaurant by 10 o'clock. And anyway, they are going to be, and another thing about the basement space, it's not 100% there's nothing people going to be there. And snows they are talking about. If the property management team not cleaning the snow, I need to clean the snow because I have the liability issues whenever people coming into the restaurant. So I will do that. Another, wheelchair. Our restaurant, both bathrooms, including the walkway, hallway, entrance, everything is wheelchair accessible.
All right, but just in fairness, as a practical matter, if you close your kitchen at 10, which is very common,
Yeah.
you're not kicking people out at 10:05. So as a practical matter, you know, it seems likely that if someone comes in at 9:45 to eat, you're closing your restaurant, but you're gonna have to let those people sit in there and finish eating. But, you know, in fairness,
Yeah.
that's reasonable. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's common. Close your restaurant at 10 means close your kitchen.
Yes,
And
I'm
then
closing
people
the
finish
kitchen.
up.
Yeah, we are not ready to take any orders after 9:45.
Yeah, and you're not having bar
Yeah.
activity after that.
Yes.
Just the leftover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing about Levittown Property Owners Association and the signatures, I saw that in the Google, like it's a.
Okay, hold on, you're getting into the exhibits now?
Yeah.
Okay, So say what the exhibit is and tell me what you have to say about it. So this is the exhibit, which is the signatures on the petition. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, so.
Okay.
There's that, in that group, I also saw that people supporting our businesses. So I have the proof of here.
Wait a minute.
So,
On a different petition?
yeah, here, two Facebook posts is there for the discussion.
To
Before-
what, Christine?
They are in the group, they are discussing about what's going on. They take the picture of the violation and put it and asking the comments of the Leviton Property Owner Association members. So,
Go ahead. Hold on.
yeah, yeah.
But can I just ask you, are you telling me that some of the people who signed this gentleman's petition about the concerns, you think are also people who have also spoken out in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
I have it here, whatever marked in red. So they're saying like to the peoples, they're posting, residents, be aware of this new restaurant, wants to be able to park in front of your house in East Village Green. That is not true. So that was all the comments. And I see some comments. My brother, Mr. Joe, he commented,
Is that wording that you've just read part of the petition that was
Yeah.
submitted?
I said, I hope, Mr. Michael John, my brother, he put like, I hope everyone opposes this application to have an Indian restaurant here. I have it. Yeah.
But I don't actually find that offensive. Is that the problem? Is it? I think they don't want any restaurant there. And it just so happened that it is, like, I feel like it would say the same, we oppose a Greek restaurant here.
Some people supporting there, it's not a matter at all. Just I'm saying, like, I want to enroll myself to the Leviton Property Owner Association.
Yes, and I think that was an excellent
Yeah,
idea.
I was seeing all the posts there. I was feel a little bad because I was.
We often advise folks who want to come in here, and they usually want to. They want a chance to tell people who are concerned about any proposal what they are actually proposing, because most applicants feel like if you could just explain it, that the concerns might not be so severe or not at all. So I thought that was an excellent suggestion by Ms. Morrow, that you make arrangements to go speak to the community. It can't hurt, I feel, but that's your choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will note your objections to the items in the petition, and I understand what you pointed out, and it's taken down in the transcript.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have pictures at different times of the day also.
Those are your photos.
Those are his photos.
I take
Okay.
the pictures.
Do
And
me a
I'll-
favor.
And I want to put that into evidence.
Okay, so who took the photos?
I took the photos.
Both these sets?
Yes.
Okay, and do they fairly and accurately represent what they purport to represent? They just are photos you took, and they've not in any way been photoshopped or anything?
No, I have the video recording. I record the video when I entering the East Green loop, the parking loop. I was talking whatever available parking. After my restaurant, I can submit the video right now. I have it in my phone also. So entire circle, I made the circle. I take the video on the right side, left side, right side, left side. So whenever they're taking I saw there's one picture. If you're taking like this, it looks like fill. In the video, I was driving through that filled parking. You can see, I can show the video 21 parkings between the cars.
Okay, but those are the different angles, but they're just the photos you took. They weren't otherwise altered.
No, I have the video.
Yes.
recording.
No,
I have.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll accept those in evidence. Would you folks like to see these photos? If one of you, okay, and you saw theirs, okay. All right, so, all right, one more okay, what is it you'd like to say?
When we gave the lease, in every single lease we gave to any tenant, we always have a use clause in the lease, what they are going to be using the space for. In the use clause, and we can give you also a copy of the lease, it only says restaurant use, and each of the businesses is sharing the basement space. So right now, the pizzeria restaurant has their own area they're using. Then the gaming store has a storage downstairs. Then the Chinese restaurant has their own, and these are locked rooms. So this is not an open space downstairs. And I can provide the pictures to you if you like. And they have two accesses to the basement. One is from the pizza side, one is from the Chinese. So the allocated space, by the way, their square footage is only 2,200 approximately of the restaurant. And that's exactly same square footage we have allocated in the basement.
Hold on. I have 1,319.
I'm sorry?
On the map,
Yeah.
I have the square footage of the proposed restaurant as 1,319.
Maybe that's the restaurant area.
Yeah, the basement space. So the basement space allocated, again, they also have an enclosure, meaning they have the sheetrock and then it's enclosed. So what I'm trying to say is there's no huge basement open area. And also, I will be becoming member of the association, and I'll be sharing my number with you as well if you have any concerns. And about the timing as well, it's in the lease. The business timings are also specified, and we're going to enforce that as well as the property management, the ownership is concerned. So I just want to clarify those things, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I have one question. So in thinking about the tractor-trailer pickup and delivery box truck and garbage, if I understand from you folks correctly, it would be more desirable for the garbage pickup to be less often, if that's possible, but after 7 a.m.? Is that correct? All right, but okay. I got the impression that that was more desirable. So after 7 a.m., and not later than 7 p.m. or something? Right, but what I'm talking about here is trying to potentially craft conditions if we do decide approve this matter, and those conditions would include. He tells me that he can control when the carting happens. So. Okay, so we're at 9 a.m. and not later than 9 p.m. or something. Just get.
They're usually gone by 1, 2 o'clock, the carting companies. Those guys work till 3.
So not later than 9 p.m. is fine? Okay. And I don't know about the delivery trucks. We'll get to that. Or we'll have to figure out, we got a lot of deliberating to do and figuring out what works and what. We're talking about what?
Already too many trucks coming to pick up. We're talking about adding more trucks. Whatever time doesn't matter what time. I don't want to come at 4:30 in the morning, obviously.
Right.
That disturbs my sleep. We're talking about our quality of life. Trucks are coming through, they drive right past the front of my house. The stench is absolutely horrific. So I'd just like to make that.
All right. Okay, then we're going to close this up. So, okay.
11:45, we took pictures of the parking lot yesterday.
Okay.
Everybody's at work, at school, and then he took pictures last night at 8:45 when it's 8 degrees out.
Okay. Understood.
I just want to address one more thing. We came here to address initially the parking on the street. And I know we covered so much more, which is great, but the initial variance postage was for no on-street parking. That's what the residents were upset with. Nobody wants people coming to restaurants, parking in front of their homes so that they lose their homes. So I just didn't want to lose sight of that because, like I said, this was a great working meeting, as opposed to a hearing. But I just wanted to make sure that that was made clear, that the objection is to people parking on the street.
Right. And
Parking stalls, municipal.
And we don't have a lot of control over that. What we do is kind of the reverse side of that equation is to determine if there's adequate off-street parking, in this case with those lots, so that theoretically, so people don't have to park on the street. And there are, and maybe, it sounds like you guys are sophisticated. I think there is a process, Joe, whereby you can seek some changes to the street parking. Joe, please.
Yes, I'm listening
No, I
completely.
need your assistance.
Yes.
So I think you can apply, what, Joe, explain? To get what, like limited hours or some areas that are not? I mean, you want to use the street too, so you might not want that, but,
I'm sure Ms. Morrow knows the avenues, the proper way to go.
yeah, the town does have some,
Your father taught you well.
Well, thank you, sir. But I know that we've had many residents over the years petition to get no parking in front of their home signs up. And who wants to have that throughout the entire neighborhood?
right, that's what I just said.
So-
But there might be, I think there are some other options,
Yeah, I
like,
think
you
we
know,
have ample.
some
I
time
don't think-
limitations or something like that, that would make it workable for the residents, but not the non-residents. Okay, so I think we've heard everything. I'm going to let you finish up as the applicant. Tell us whatever you want us to know before we,
I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank anybody that objected to this. I, understand your concerns, and, we want to be good neighbors. The restaurant is to serve the community. You are welcome to have some nice dinner. So, and I'm also asking the board to please help expedite the approval of this, because rent is being paid monthly, and there is no activity at this point.
Understood.
The only delay for this application is the parking.
Right.
We've gone through the building department, and, things seems to check out. I've checked out, so. Thank
okay.
you very much.
All right. With that said, we're going to close the hearing. Do I have any motions from the board?
I move that the hearing be closed. When the board makes its decision, we'll send you a copy of that.
Everyone who signed in will get a copy. Thank you all for coming and participating. Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor? Okay. Have a nice evening, folks.
So we're going to call this one again. All right, 45 and 46 of 2025. Kevin and Karen Vahey. Property is at 609 Orange Street.
Were you drafting a draft on this?
Belmore, this is the garage.
Yeah.
Well, then let's just do a draft. If you want to do a draft, I will. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just wanted to do find out whether or not the fireproofing needs to be separate.
If we do that, do we just not, does it make any more work for you if you do a draft now?
No, it's the
Because
same
you do a
amount of work.
decision
I
anyway,
have to
right?
just change the date. But if you guys want to do a draft, I'm happy
Yeah,
to do a draft.
do a draft.
Okay.
Okay. With respect to case 57 of 2025, Ralph Muno, 196 Monroe Street in Franklin Square. Do I have any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 57 of 25 Franklin Square, Ralph Muno, located at 196 Monroe Street, be approved as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Cases 58 through 60 of 2025, Alex D. Hernandez Cueva. Property address is 3362 4th Street in Oceanside. All right, case 58 is an immediate family residence, second kitchen.
Yeah.
This is the deck was,
The deck is in the rear yard, it's at 3 feet elevated.
right,
And it adds, I think this is 40,
about 9%.
9%.
Yeah.
8.76.
I think in order to reduce the lot area occupied,
The entire deck?
yeah, they can put it on grade.
But, okay, I guess.
That's just my opinion, you know, it's open for discussion now.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not
If
gonna
we-
make a motion on
Wait,
it.
just wait. If we put it on grade, it's as of right, right?
Yes.
But if we put it on grade, then we can't stop them from enclosing it.
You can't enclose it, because then it becomes a structure.
No,
You'd
but
have to
I-
come back
I-
before the board.
Yeah.
Right, but I elicited a condition that he not enclose it. I mean, you know, people enclose things all the time, but I don't want to go back and forth. I'm fine with putting it on grade if you,
Somebody want to make a
but if
motion?
we just deny the deck, it's a partial of one of the cases, we should at least say something like, you know, recommend that the grade be on, I don't know, is there a way we can let him know
There's
that?
nothing precluding the applicant from building.
I know, I just wanted him to, like, he won't know that.
But that could be specifically, that portion is denied. This does not preclude the applicant from
Right, that's what
building
I
a
was
zoning
suggesting.
compliant. I mean, I do that.
Yeah, I
do
that's what
that.
I'm
That's even a
suggesting,
big
because I
word,
wanna
preclude.
make it like, you know,
6.5, 7.5 inches,
Yes.
7 1/4?
It's like one step, basically, a step up.
I'm not, yeah.
okay, so, other than that, did anyone have an issue?
What's in your mind? No.
All right, so, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion as relates to cases 58 through 60 of 2025 in Oceanside. It's Alex D. Hernandez Cueva. The property is located 3362 4th Street, again in Oceanside. I move that case 58 be approved as requested. At 59, I'm sorry, hold on, I can't see where the third break is.
This is variance to side yard right here.
Yeah, where's
This is 59, side yard, that's
Where does that
maintaining the
end?
one-story addition.
Oh, there
Right
it is.
here.
Okay. That 59 be approved. I still can't see it right. Sorry. That 59 be approved as requested, and that 60 be approved in part and denied in part. In particular, that the portions of that application that request a wood deck in the rear of the yard be denied with a remark that that if it's, you know, that he can pursue a deck that's as of right. That's all. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Case 61 of 2025, Woodmere, Ian J. and Kelly M. Magor. That case has been adjourned sine die. Case 62 of 2025, West Hempstead, King Ho, property address is 730 Jennings Avenue. That case has been adjourned to March 19th at 2 p.m. Case 63 of 2025, West Hempstead, Jason Droznik and Sylvia Bonet Droznik. Do I have any comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Joe?
West Hempstead 63. Yes, I move that we grant the fence a permanently as requested.
Second.
Anybody?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, cases 64 and 65 of 2025. Near Cedarhurst, Robert Muller, maintain pool equipment not permitted in the side yard and the shed at 21 Park Circle. Anybody have any comments with regard to that? If not, do I have a motion?
With respect to 64 of 2025 and 65 of 2025, location of property, 21 Park Circle, near Cedarhurst, be granted as requested.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Case 67 of 2025, Levittown, Crown of Spices, Inc. That was 66, Schreiber. I didn't call that case?
No, we just
I think it,
64.
oh, 66, Lido Beach Schreiber Family Revocable Trust. This is property located at 21 Cheltenham Street, lot area occupied, okay.
This is,
That's the one where the gentleman needed some handicapped accessibility as a result
Yes,
of
I'd like
which.
to make a motion on that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I move, as it relates to the case you just described, 66 of 2025, 21 Cheltenham, Lido Beach, that we grant the requested relief and that the decision reflect the urgency and importance of this, given the medical predicament the applicant is in.
and also granted with conditions that they get New York State variance, et cetera.
Granted with conditions that they do whatever need be to comply with New York State.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Case 67 of 2025, Levittown, Crown of Spices, Inc. Property is located 56 East Village Green. They need a parking variance, converting a retail store to a restaurant. It's the only variance they need.
I mean, I think,
We want to impose some conditions.
yes, I mean, we need to impose conditions.
I have a fair amount of them listed. The board
Okay.
is ready to make a decision today. We can, I believe, do that.
Draft.
Yeah, well,
Can you just read those
sure.
conditions and then we can dispose of
I
it
have
today?
some more.
The conditions that I have would be that the seating is limited to 78 total, 68 seats in the restaurant, 10 in
Yes.
the bar. That the restaurant is open 6 days a week, not on Mondays.
Yes.
The hours are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes.
Deliveries are in-house with their own van.
Yes.
The garbage is private carting, and
Which shall not be picked up,
prior to 9 a.m. or after 9 p.m.
correct?
I also have a few conditions written here, that it not become a club or cabaret, it not become a vape or hookah shop, and the basement is for,
Storage
and
only.
the basement is for storage only.
Anything else?
Right, and then, is there something you say about the open grease disposal, or we don't need to?
I don't think so.
That's the health department thing.
The other shops don't. Anyone ever clean grease?
I move that case 67 of 2025, Crown of Spices Incorporated at the 56 East Village Green be granted with the conditions. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do the sequence. I move that we adopt a neg deck based upon the testimony and paperwork in the file. And the second motion, sorry.
Aye.
Second.
cover my
All in
ass.
favor?
Thanks a lot.
Aye.
And that the case number 67 for the waiver of off-street parking for the retail store be granted with the conditions that council just enumerated to us, that they be adopted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do we have anything else we'd like to discuss? 37 Buffalo, did we come to a decision on that case?
Wasn't that going to be a draft?
Yeah.
I think that's a draft.
Indicated that seven of those are in front and in the rear, directly in front and in the rear of
And
their.
they only need, I think, 34 is what was required for their business.
Right, then 170 are to, so I'm just leaving it. So there's 107 directly in front and in the rear of the building. That's the building that contains the 5 businesses or 6. 8, all 6 businesses need a total of 86 spots. Right?
86 total?
So the 86 kind of goes into the 107, right? If you want to say the whole thing, because in addition, there was testimony